Bulldogs and the Vols set to get together here at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville.
A lot of legends walking around here.
We hand off to Herschel. He's running over. He ran right through two men.
Manning rolling to the right side, throws at the end zone.
Touchdown, Tennessee! My God almighty, did you see what he did? We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot.
Dobbs heaves it.
Caught Jawan Jennings. Tennessee wins!
Outside to the house, touchdown Zamir White. Jordan Davis swallowed him whole. Pick, he's gonna take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown to Gobi. Hooker into the checkerboard. Touchdown Tennessee. What a big play by the Tennessee defense. Crank up Rocky Top. Some of the great moments in the previous 50 meetings between these two SEC East rivals. And with that, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us back to Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Vols on their home field with their power tee and a fan base of about 109,000 today as they host the #1 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. As you take a look at the SEC East standings, Georgia alone on top, trying to cap off a perfect conference season for the first time since 1982. And they already know they've got a date in Atlanta for the SEC championship. They just don't know who their opponent will be quite yet. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl. Georgia trying to become a perfect 10 here today, Gary, and I think finally the quarterback situation has been managed, right?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, right, it was who was best in practice. Well, Stetson Bennett solved it in the game. He's been winning. He's been playing great football for Georgia. He's the guy. The way he plays fits this offense and their defense. But we're going to see maybe the most healthy backup quarterback with a big-name five-star JT Daniels. He was the original starter. He's healthy. Will we see him? We don't know. But they've got two of them that Kirby says, I feel comfortable with both.
Well, you got to be comfortable with the defense they have, too, giving up 6.6 points a game. If you had quarterbacks on defense, they got a couple in the linebacking
I
corps.
think they do. You know, we talk a lot about that defensive line, but this might be the best combo of inside linebackers in all of college football. Nakobe Dean, we saw it. He did the job to pick six against Florida, and Quay Walker, the big inside linebacker, he was all over the field against Florida in that football game. At any level, this Georgia defense is pretty good.
You can hear by the noise behind us that Rocky Top is rocking under first-year coach Josh Heupel, who's done a really fine job. They're 3-3 in conference play, 5-4 overall. He's got the fan interest back, and he's got a quarterback that's rolling right now.
Well, they've got an offense that scores points. Can they do it today? They've got a hot quarterback in charge of this offense. Hendon Hooker is the guy. Didn't start the season, but he has come on. He may be the hottest in the SEC right now, and he doesn't do it just with his arm. He is a great runner. In fact, the coaches say he might be our best running back when he takes it and runs.
A lot of excitement here before kickoff. We'll be checking in with Jamie Erdahl, and then we will have the 51st edition of the Volunteers and the Bulldogs from Knoxville. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by USAA, AT&T 5G, Taco Bell, and by the Home Depot.
USAA.
Tee opening up, and the Volunteers will follow Smokey out. 5 wins, 3 in conference play, and in those wins, they've averaged 49 points a game. The question is, can they do it against this group? Here comes the #1 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia trying to go to 10-0. Before we kick, we go to the third member of our team, Jamie Erdahl. Jamie?
Brad Gary, it seems every team in search of a championship faces adversity, and Georgia is no different in this fate. Kirby Smart has shared with us that there is a stomach flu bug going through this team right now. 8 players are experiencing symptoms of the 70 that traveled to Knoxville. They are receiving IV hydration right up until kickoff, and some of those players are starters. Furthermore, Georgia remains without linebacker Adam Anderson. He is facing a felony charge after being accused of rape in late October. Anderson turned himself into police on Wednesday and remains in custody until a bond hearing next week. He has denied the allegations. Georgia suspended Anderson indefinitely from all team activities. Brad, Coach Kirby Smart told us that he is being kept updated through the university.
All right, Jamie, thank you. And in both those instances, for the reasons Jamie just described, the depth of Georgia will be tested a little bit more today than normal. 50 degrees, sunny skies, packed house at Neyland.
Jamie's really good, but she couldn't get the names of the guys that are on the AV. Nobody could get that out of Kirby. No one.
Nope, not the guys that have got the flu. Georgia leads the series by a couple. They have won 9 of the last 11. They won the toss and deferred, so Tennessee to receive. Jake Camarda has got it teed up. Velus Jones is back deep for Tennessee. And we're underway. Jones caps under this at the 3. Dangerous receiver, good return man, got it out around the 23. And that's where the Papa John starting lineups will pop up for us and bring us Hendon Hooker, guy that Gary talked about. Transfer from Virginia Tech. Last week, 357 total yards and 4 touchdowns, and this is the group that'll join him. Cade Mays, a couple years ago, he's wearing the other uniform. Yep. Transferred from Georgia so he could play with his little brother. Not so little. His younger brother, his Cooper, is the starting center. So the Volunteers line it up at the 23-yard line. Jabari Small, the tailback, next to Hendon Hooker. He gets the call, and he gets a good gain. Defensively, for the top-ranked defense in the country, when the guys that Gary talked about aren't making plays, Nolan Smith usually is. There's the rest of the group that'll join him. And here you see the hurry-up of the Tennessee offense to the 27. Hooker going to go deep. And he's got a man wide open. And he just overshot Velus Jones. It would have been a touchdown.
Hard to believe. They scored on the first play of the game against Kentucky. And against Georgia now, they should have scored on the second play of the game. If that ball is catchable and with that wide open, you got to throw one that your receiver can judge it and make that catch. That's the one you can't overthrow.
They had 70 and 72-yard touchdown throws on their first 4 plays. First couple of plays, actually.
Holy cow.
A week ago.
You got to figure Georgia's working on big plays early, and they still popped it.
3rd and 5. Here's Hooker on the run. Getting to the edge, got the first down and more. Out across the 40. First down, Tennessee.
Well, we talked about the skill that Hendon runs the ball with. Can he take the hits all game? He will if he runs against this Georgia defense.
And now it's Small who takes it into Georgia territory. Jabari Small with a big gain.
Tough to show highlights and replays because Tennessee, when they get it going, will continue to snap it fast. Here they go.
Small got 9. 2nd and short, and the throw is complete. First down, out of bounds to 46. Jalen Hyatt. And Tennessee rolling here on the opening possession.
There's always a phrase of the week. And for Tennessee, the phrase of the week this week was, get it started. Each series, get it started.
They got it started.
You bet.
And again, Small cuts outside, got around a would-be tackler, Nakobe Dean, and Tyndall bring him down. But another good game.
So for the last 2 weeks, Georgia has faced backup quarterbacks. They're not facing a backup quarterback today.
They got too many guys on the field right now. The center judge is holding things up.
There was a substitution by Tennessee, and they'll allow Georgia to substitute.
Georgia gets to match. Now everybody's set. 2nd down at 5. Quick throw to the outside, complete, another first down. Jalen Hyatt again. They started this drive at the 23. They've worked it to the Georgia 31. Hooker backpedals, goes long to the corner of the end zone, broken up. And a flag down on Keely Ringo.
And Keely Ringo, the freshman, knew he was beat. He didn't know where the football was, and he decided, I'm going to get pass interference. It's only a 15-yard penalty rather than letting the ball be caught. It's a smart move.
Defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And you see Ringo draped all over the intended receiver.
We all know the difference in the rules. In the NFL, the ball would go to the 2-yard line.
Right.
Here it's a 15-yard penalty. Bottom of the screen, man-to-man coverage, beats him cleanly. Nice throw this time. Your guy can catch it 2 yards inbounds.
Tennessee already in the Georgia red zone at the 16 with that penalty. 4 runs and 3 passes so far in the opening couple of minutes.
Yeah, and as important as 4 and 3 is it's 7 plays, keeping your defense off the field. Remember, a week ago against Kentucky, they scored, but they didn't have a lot of plays.
They only had the ball for 13 minutes and 23 seconds, and they scored 3.5 points a minute in that 45-42.
Yeah.
That's just unbelievable.
And the 4 runs, the shortest they gained is 4 yards. Look at the space they're given to the slot.
Hooker on the run. Down to the 10, maybe the 9. Numbers from a week ago. Look at that.
Amazing.
Most of the coaches, both for Georgia and Tennessee, so we've never seen anything like it.
Right.
Yeah, they're already at the Georgia 9-yard line. And that looks more like the Georgia defense. Jalen Wright maybe got a yard.
So right now, Coach Heupel is deciding whether if it's 4th and short, will he go for it? Will he kick a field goal?
And again, both teams substitute. Jabari Small comes back into the Tennessee backfield. 3rd down and 3. Tennessee a 45% 3rd down team so far this year. Got to get to the 6. Hooker throws it. They are going to get more than 6. They'll get a 6-point touchdown, Tennessee. Start fast, I guess so, Gary.
Yeah, the bunch formation really exposed the Georgia defense this time. Little play action, just a little bit of a delay, and you've got your fast receiver on an inside linebacker on the play.
Our AT&T 5G pylon cam sees Jones come right into your picture.
What a drive.
Chase McGrath in for the point after. Georgia's given up more points in the opening drive to the Volunteers than they average per game in their previous 9 opponents. 77 yards in 10 plays. Hendon Hooker, his 22nd touchdown toss of the year, and the Volunteers up 7-0. Most famous Volunteers ever. Peyton Manning being honored here today. Never lost to Georgia in this series, and he said earlier this week, Georgia better watch out. Volunteers are getting better every week, and they sure look good on the opening drive.
I think he's right. I will say this, admire, he's loyal to his alma mater no matter what, shows up, shakes hands, and always roots for his team.
Absolutely. Toby Wilson to kick off. This one is returnable from the 5. And it's Zamir White who gets out maybe to the 22. And Georgia goes to work there. And our Papa John's starting lineup starts with number 13, Stetson Bennett. So far on the year, he hasn't lost a game. The team hasn't lost a game. And as a starter over 2 seasons, he's 10-2. Getting Jermaine Burton back to full health has helped their receiver core. They did lose a guy again this week, though. Arian Smith, who just got back and was probably their fastest guy, was injured in practice this week, and his season is probably over. Bennett, quick throw to the outside. He's got a man wide open, and it's Kearis Jackson on the run.
Well, you talk about a starting play that was perfectly called. Tennessee comes with a slot blitz. They're bringing people right behind it is where the screen goes, and perfect call with the perfect call from the defense at the same time. Say this, Georgia has not led by more than 3 points all year, 3-0. This is the biggest deficit of the year.
That's right.
Stetson Bennett, 6-7-0.
We kept saying, what do they do if they have to play from behind? Well, they're playing from behind here early in the first quarter. Play fake, Bennett hit from behind. The ball harmlessly falls as he got whacked in the back trying to get rid of that football. It brings up 2nd and 10.
So this Tennessee defense leads the Power 5 conferences in tackles for a loss. That's a tackle for a loss is a sack as well. They count as both. So you see the pressure they put on Bennett on that play.
Zamir White puts his head down, goes for about 3, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and long. And this is the volunteer defense that Georgia's looking at right now, led by Jeremy Banks, who leads the club in tackles. Georgia coming in 47% on the year on their 3rd down conversions. They're going to have to get it into Tennessee territory to move the chains right here. 3rd down and 7.
One note, it's a Broderick Jones at left tackle here. In for the injured Salyer, number 69, 59, playing left tackle. Let's watch that matchup.
James Cook in the Georgia backfield. Bennett flushed out of the pocket. He can run, and he does, and he's got the 1st down. Goes down to the 43-yard line, and that's the added advantage that he gives this Georgia offense.
Well, I'll tell you what, Broderick Jones got away with one here. He held on the play. Watch this. It's a blitz coming from, I think it's a corner cat. Watch him grab and turn just at the end of that play.
14-yard scramble by Bennett. Now it's James Cook for 3. Brought down by Roman Harrison.
You don't hold if it isn't called, right?
That's right. There's no laundry on the field. There's no foul.
Not a foul.
Georgia brings their wide receivers all out to the near side on 2nd down at the 39. Bowers, the tight end, is lined up on the left. He's a dangerous combination receiver. James Cook. And Cook into the secondary. James Cook, he will score. Touchdown, Georgia. 39 yards.
Cedric Van Tran, number 63, the center. Watch the job he does getting to the 2nd level to make this play. Combo block inside from the right guard, Erickson, and then he climbs to the secondary and makes the play on the linebacker. What a beautiful job blocking by that Georgia offensive line. And they might not have been behind by a lot, and they weren't behind by a lot either.
Not for very long.
2:32.
Podlesny in for the point after. It's up and good.
Beautiful execution by that Georgia offensive line.
Season-long 39-yard gallop for James Cook caps a 78-yard touchdown march in 6 plays. First quarter, a lot of fireworks already at Neyland. We're tied at 7. Get nonstop sports news, expert picks, and the biggest highlights on CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 Sports News Network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. You can catch Gary joining the HQ team after our game here in Knoxville later on. 7-7. What a start, huh? 16 plays, 14 points. We'll take it.
Georgia fans are going, the other team allowed to score
A touchdown?
Yes. Holy cow. Well, they knew there'd be one of these games when they faced an offense that could move the ball. Now we'll see how they adjust on defense.
Camarda set the kick, and Velus Jones waits back at the goal line for Tennessee. This time, Camarda knocks it out the back of the end zone. So Tennessee will come out to the 25.
Well, Ness Velus Jones didn't get that one, but he did get the one before. He's lined up in the slot in that condensed formation. Brini, number 36, had him on the play man-to-man. You saw Kirby talking to Brini afterwards saying, that's your guy. I mean, you can't get pushed off. You're man-to-man. Don't worry about the running play. You got to stick with that receiver, and good execution by that Tennessee offense.
So they go to work for the second time here in the first quarter. RPO and the quick throw, and again the receiver open, and is Payton. Javonte Payton picks up 8 or 9, and he's hurt.
So as the injured player's down, as soon as the man goes in motion, and then Hendon says 3-on-2, I'm coming out here. It's a RPO. He sees only 2 defenders out there with the motion. He's coming out with the quick screen to the receiver.
And hopefully just had the wind knocked out of him on the sideline on the end of the play. Javonte Payton out of Nashville. We'll check on him when we come back. It's NFL on CBS doubleheader action. Early games feature the Browns and the Patriots. Saints take on the Titans. Russell Wilson's coming back as the Seahawks go to Lambeau to meet the Packers. As always, the day begins at noon Eastern with the NFL today. JB and the guys, doubleheader action tomorrow on CBS. Let's go back to the injury on the wide receiver.
Inside, Dean is going to come on the inside on the blitz, but watch Channing, number 41, Channing Tindall, come across. He's the one that gets the hit. Talking about that speed from the inside linebackers. They play 3 of them, Walker, Dean, and Tindall, and they all can run sideline to sideline.
Javonte Payton is in the medical tent. It looked like he was favoring his left arm when he finally got up and headed to the sideline. So we'll try to get a report, Jamie, on that. Meanwhile, it is second down and 2. And here is number 2, Jabari Small, is going to be close to the first down. Don't know if he got it or not. Devontae Wyatt's got him all wrapped up. They're still looking to spot the ball. It's third down and short. Less than a yard. This is Hooker, and he didn't get it. Wow. And it was Tindall first, and then Kobe Dean cleaned up.
Same 2 guys. Those second layer, those linebackers. This time, Dean is in that outside linebacker, that bear look when he lines up at outside, almost defensive end, and then cleaned up by leading tackler on the team, Tindall.
And you see Javonte Payton is headed into the locker room, apparently still favoring his shoulder or his arm. Meanwhile, a big stop by Georgia right there.
Back-to-back plays.
Kearis Jackson waiting on Paxton Brooks' punt. And a wobbly end-over-end kick takes a big bounce.
Nice job by Jackson.
Yeah, it saved him some yardage there. Exactly. If he would have let that roll.
Would have got what's he get, a 2-yard return, but it might be worth 12 yards because it would have rolled 10 more yards.
Well, midway point of the first quarter, 7-7. Georgia scored the first time they had it. Yes. Going back on offense when we come back.
From Zucker, New York with this Jeep update. Number 8 Oklahoma already lost today. Number 4 Ohio State, they scored first, but Purdue's elite passing attack answers. Aiden O'Connell to Jackson Anthrop to tie it at 7. The Spoilermakers, the last Big Ten team to beat the Buckeyes, but the Buckeyes are knocking on the goal line now.
Thanks, Zook. Gary's Boilermakers trying to pull off another upset. College football playoff entering the week. Georgia on top, Alabama 2, Oregon. It's got a date at Wazoo tonight. Ohio State in that game Zook just talked about. Here, number 1 Georgia tied 7-7 with Tennessee in their second offensive possession from their own 29-yard line. Kenny McIntosh in the backfield with Stetson Bennett. Bennett to throw on first down. Nope, not going to throw on first down. Down he goes. And it's big Matthew Butler. That's only the 6th sack given up by Georgia this year.
Well, when you see a sack and you see a quarterback pause in the backfield, you know the coverage was good. They tried to get a swing pass to the outside, covered well, and then Schaefer cannot hold up inside at left guard.
And a loss of 8. Another loss. Gary talked about the tackle for loss group from Tennessee, and they've got back-to-back. That's Omari Thomas.
Yeah, and this time Warren Erickson, number 50, reaches to make the block and gets beat inside. That's the one thing when you step outside and that guy takes that inside move, you've got to hustle and try to take his legs out.
A loss of 8 and then a loss of 4 more. And it's 3rd and 22, and you got to be careful here.
Yeah, I think that play call from Todd Monken will be very careful or very deep. Nothing in between.
James Cook's going to flush out of the backfield. It's the quick throw to Kearis Jackson. Jackson got a couple blocks and got back across the original line of scrimmage, but it's 4th down.
So for a defense of Tennessee that gave up over 600 yards last week, 99 plays from Kentucky, and on the first drive, Georgia goes down the field. That is a big stop for this defense.
And Tim Banks, their defensive coordinator, well done by the Vols defense. It'll force Jake Kamar to punt.
And 2 one-on-one plays there, beating their man. That's the key to a defense. You got to win those one-on-one matchups, and this Tennessee defensive line did.
Camarda averaging about 46 yards a punt on the year. Bayless Jones is going to get out of the way of this one, and no, he won't. He's going to take it on a hop, as Jackson did on the earlier return for Georgia, and he saved him some yardage too around the 17-yard line. Well, they don't break the law, they bend it. Meet the McCluskey's Power Rokers in Kingstown, Michigan, where the business of incarceration is the only thriving industry. New drama, Mayor of Kingstown from Yellowstone co-creator Taylor Sheridan features Jeremy Renner, Diane Wiest, Kyle Chandler. You can stream it now exclusively on Paramount Plus.
That's last time Tennessee was stopped on 2nd and 3rd down, but they've been winning on 1st down. That's why their offense is working. See if they can get it working against their rivals. That would be big for Josh Heupel and his tenure here as a head coach.
Booker, the throw to the outside. Nice pitch and catch out to the 22.
See, there's another 1st down win. When you're calling plays as an offense, you want at least 4 yards. That's a win on 1st down. If you get above, ahead of the chains, you'll take that as an offense. Love to have more.
They'll take the 5 they got, and now number 5 whips it out, high throw, caught, and close to a 1st down is Cedric Tillman.
Yeah, they didn't like the spot on that play. It's 3rd and inches. Remember, they were stuffed last time, going hurry up.
Almost stuffed again, but Small finds a little opening and gets it out to move the sticks around the 29.
Well, Tyon Evans, their leading ball carrier, gives them 75 rushing yards a game. He is not playing in this game. That means Jabari Small, number 2, is the main guy.
Hooker throws again, wide open receiver, and another 1st down, and this one's Ramel Keaton.
Well, we met Hendon Hooker yesterday, and he is a cool customer.
Yeah, he is.
And he is starting this game as a cool customer again.
Jordan Davis is down right now. That causes the chorus of boos from the fans in Knoxville, thinking that Georgia's taking a little breather here because of the hurry-up offense in Tennessee to try to slow them down.
Well, for the Tennessee crowd, if it stays at boos, that's good enough.
Yeah. We don't want anything thrown on the field.
Right.
Well, the big fella, maybe the biggest on either team, down on one knee.
I tell you, as soon as the play started, Jordan Davis reached for his left, like groin, hand, upper leg area. As soon as the play went, he turned around and grabbed it. I think he's right here. Watch as he turns around. As he turns right away, he feels it. He doesn't look to the bench or anything like that. On that one, he feels it and goes down to one knee.
Yep. So Tennessee's had an opportunity to bring their offense over to the sideline, set to go with a first down at the 44. Hooker, look out from behind. He got away from Wyatt. And he not only got away, he might be close to a first down. Ball comes out at the end. All kinds of things happening on that play.
Well, Wyatt inside makes the play. Just an arm over, does a swim against Jerome Carvin, number 75, and gets into the backfield. And as Brad told you, just a miraculous get away from that pass rush.
The ruling is that there was a fumble recovered by the offense. First down.
So that's a pickup of 18.
And it should have been a loss of about 7.
Yeah. So Tennessee right back in Georgia territory at the 38-yard line.
It's under further review.
They're going to take a look at whether or not he was down or that was a fumble at the end of the play.
Wyatt inside right here is going to make the play. Swim move, gets into the backfield, and then how does he get away from that big man?
Then he does that, and at the end of the play, the scoop.
Yeah, I think he was down on the play. The ball, I don't think, comes loose.
His leg is already hit at that point.
I think his bottom comes down, and then it's stripped out.
Yep.
Yep, knees down, shin down.
Well, I'm glad they're taking a look at it, because that would have been a free extra 10 yards.
I think Georgia's defense is glad they're taking a look at it, to tell you the truth.
So they can get a breath.
They got to get a breath against a tempo offense that they're facing.
There's Dan Lanning, the defensive coordinator, over there in the middle of that huddle with Kirby Smart, as James Carter, our referee, is taking a look at it upstairs. Is Mickey Haddock, the replay official. I don't really think there should be a lot of controversy on this one, unless they've seen something we didn't see.
And again, first down being good to Tennessee. I mean, they are making plays and keeping this Georgia defense off balance with their success on first down.
Well, Hendon Hooker's knee is down there, and maybe they're looking at where he landed more than anything else on this review. His rear end's down there, and the ball still isn't out. So we've got it straightened out. We'll get the call. I think it's more about the spot maybe than whether or not it was a fumble.
After review, the runner's knee was down before the fumble. Will be second down and 1 from the 47-yard line.
So they got it right. It'll be second down and 1.
Now here's one of these ones where you want to go short yardage, go deep. Because they didn't have success picking up the first down earlier, or do you just want to run it twice in a row and get the first down? That guy will be making the decision.
Mm-hmm. Small with Hooker in the backfield. They throw it. It's a first down to Jones. To the 41, Velus Jones. And now they're going to hurry. You see the wide receivers run it back and get it to the official as fast as they can, so they can keep going at this 3 plays a minute pace. Hooker fires far side, again caught by Tillman.
So when we spoke to Hendon Hooker, we asked, why is it so different from you at Virginia Tech to here? He said, I just feel comfortable. They call plays. They let me be me. I feel like I'm the guy out there running the offense instead of running somebody else's offense.
Here he throws late and high and incomplete, intended for Jones, and a flag down. We might have a holding on Tennessee.
I'm wondering, or did they hit the quarterback in the head on the play? I think it was holding first. Did they do both?
Holding.
Yep.
Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty from their previous spot. Second down.
That matchup has been a problem. Devontae Wyatt beat Carvin earlier. Jerome Carvin, number 75 on Wyatt, and you can see the grab right there.
Yep.
Easy call, and the hand does come to the helmet, but maybe not enough.
So that backs Tennessee up to the 48-yard line of Georgia. The 2nd and 17 now. These quick throws. A group of 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. It's just pitch and catch right now for Hooker and company. They're coming to the same way with a wide out there. And the inside move by Keaton gets it back to the 43, so we got about 5.
Well, you're seeing modern football, the spread offense, the hurry up, the effective wide receivers. What they do is we know we're not as good at them in the box, so we don't go at them in the box.
Hit as he throws is Hooker, but he's still got it to Tillman. Down the sideline. Flag is down.
Yeah, Darian Kendrick is saying he got thrown down on the play. Let's see what they call. To the outside on the play. Who throws who down? And Kendrick's saying he did. I think Jalen Hyatt's saying we're both fighting. He fell. Let's see what they call.
Pass interference. Defense.
Wow,
Number 11.
look at that.
That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
28-yard pickup.
Kendrick, the transfer from Clemson. A lot of fighting right there. I don't see anybody reason to call that on either guy on that play. If they're going to let them fight out there. Beautiful throw, though, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Zipped it out there. No time for safety to get there. A lot of space right here on the slot. A lot of space.
They fake the end around and throw to the end zone. In and out of the hands of Fant, the tight end. Got one hand on it.
What you like down here when you throw to these tight ends is to keep the ball high. Coming off the slot, throw the ball up in the air where only your guy can get it. Let those big tight ends go up there. You hope with 2 hands, but look at that. Above the DBs, only the Tennessee receiver could get it.
Second down. Hooker is going to run it inside the 10, down to around the 7. In Josh Heupel's head coaching career, his first year here at Tennessee, and the 3 previous years at UCF, he's never had a team that didn't score at least 14 points. Georgia doesn't give up 14 kind of points, but right. Tennessee's heading that way right now.
Yeah, for what, 13 all years there. Hooker. That's out of the,
yeah, that one's a little high.
That's high.
That was even high for the guy in the first row.
Right. We like to throw him high down here, but that's... Nobody really to go to the ball to, and everybody's yelling to the referees, I got held, he got held, and those back judges and officials are going to have their eyes open and not listen to all the chatter because everybody's grabbing right now.
Chase McGrath will come out to try to tack on 3 here. This will be a 24-yard field goal attempt for Chase McGrath. Georgia's good at blocking kicks. They have been this year. They don't get anywhere near this one. Tennessee has the lead for the 2nd time in the first quarter against the #1 team in the country. Josh Heupel's Volunteers up 10-7. Tomorrow, you're invited to the concert of a lifetime. Man, will Gary be watching this with Adele, including an exclusive interview with Oprah Winfrey. Adele, one night only tomorrow on CBS. Gary's favorites, if everybody doesn't know, Adele and Bruno Mars.
Yep, I'll take that. Also, the other half of the household will agree with it, so we're in harmony there.
More of a Kenny Chesney guy. I'm in Tennessee.
I do that too.
Yeah.
Speaking of football, it's been first down for Tennessee. They've had 10 of them. 8 of the plays have been 5 yards or more. That's why they're moving the ball.
76-yard drive on their last play, 77 on their first series. And Georgia will bring it out to the 25. Now it's time for Hometown Connection, presented by T-Mobile. Here's Jamie.
Well, they're not from the same hometown, but these two young men called the campus at USC home for a while Velus Jones Jr. and JT Daniels were teammates at USC. On a road game on the West Coast one day, the team went to a petting zoo because the kickoff was so late. Stay with me here. They fell in love with the ferrets. So when they got back, Velus Jones got a pet ferret. Well, sometimes he goes on vacation, so who babysat the pet ferret? None other than JT Daniels, his good friend. The ferret's name was Crash, and they will always have Crash in their hearts.
Oh, boy, that's a good one. Stetson Bennett on a handoff to Zamir White. And a couple. Jeremy Banks, who's a leading tackler for Tennessee, and on the hit. Georgia really hasn't gotten their ground game rolling yet. They come in averaging about 190 yards on the ground a game. Best run of the day so far was by that guy, Stetson Bennett, on a scramble to pick up a first down. So the time of possession completely different for Tennessee than it was a week ago in their win over Kentucky. Kenny McIntosh this time got to the 30. It's going to be third down and almost 5.
So Georgia knows that they need to run the ball to be successful. Tennessee knows it too. Early in this football game, that's the matchup right now. Can Tennessee hold up in the running game? Because the most passes all year that Stetson Bennett has thrown in a game, 21 pass attempts. The most he's thrown all year. It's been the running attack.
And he's never completed more than 14. Let's see what they do here. Empty backfield, so it looks like it'll be a throw unless Bennett does it with his legs. Third down and 5. Throw to the outside is too far in front of McConkey.
Yeah, he missed him. And the body reaction from Stetson after he let it go. He knows he missed him. Had a little bit of a pick to the outside, inside slot. He's got him for a first down and just let him too much. Watch it. He knows. Right away.
And JT Daniels talking with him on the sideline. Another punt coming up from Camarda. Georgia was a man short, but they get him out there. It's James Cook. Fair catch taken around the 25 by Jones. And Tennessee going right back to work on offense with 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Tonight, 10:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Gridiron action continues. Nevada and number 22 San Diego State get together in a Mountain West battle. We did that game a year ago in Reno. It's a rematch.
We never went into the city because of COVID. We had a hotel to the stadium.
They had nice cardboard cutouts of all 3 of us down in the end zone. There was no fans. There was no nothing.
How do you like Reno? I don't know. Never been there.
It's the greatest little city in the world, though. Jalen Wright in the backfield with Hooker. They fake it to him. They throw to Jones, who's met head on by Chris Smith. But he's still got a couple yards.
And that's how you tackle in the secondary. Chris Smith on that one.
We played 15 minutes. Top-ranked Georgia finds itself in an unfamiliar position, trailing 10-7 to the Tennessee Volunteers. SEC on CBS heads into quarter number 2 in Knoxville. And Tennessee leading Georgia 10-7. A lot of people are saying, when's the last time Kirby Smart's team was behind in the second quarter? Mississippi State a year ago. And questions have been all year long. Can they play from behind? So we'll find out. They've been behind twice already in this game, and Tennessee's got the ball back. Hooker wanted to go deep, and he got hit from behind by Trayvon Walker, I think.
Now that's a quick pass rush right there. 2nd and 8, and he gets overwhelmed, and I think that's a fumble. That ball wasn't going forward, I don't think. But the recovery by Wright.
I guess it was a Kobe Dean just right in the middle of the pack.
Overwhelmed with that pass rush. Now that looked like the Georgia defense.
Yep.
You know, first sign was on 1st down. They ran that slot screen. Instead of getting 5 or more, they got 2, and then they came. It looks like that Georgia defense is tightening up.
Loss of 11 on that one. They keep it on the ground. And again, that looks like the Georgia defense. It'll force a punt. We got a man down or slow to get up. One of the linemen for Tennessee. I think it was Spraggins. Yep. And he's apparently okay. So Tennessee's got to give it up.
So back-to-back tackles for loss, basically. One was a sacked fumble, and then the next one is before they get to the line of scrimmage. That's Georgia defense right there.
Paxton Brooks to punt. Kearis Jackson waits on it, calls for the fair catch, and backpedals right to the 35. Georgia back on offense, trying to tie it up or take the lead when we come back. Tennessee with 13:28 to go in the first half, and now it's time for Do Project Smarter, presented by the Home Depot.
And there's a touchdown! Touchdown, my God, a touchdown! We threw it to Haynes. We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose. We just crushed their face.
One of the great calls I heard by my old buddy Larry Munson. He admitted many years later he had no idea what a hobnail boot is. I don't think anybody else does either, but when Larry said it, it sounded like it was something just normal that you could get at a store, you know, a hobnail boot.
When you can make a call that no one ever gets tired of listening to.
That's doing Project Smarter.
That's right.
Well, Georgia has only 32 passing yards right now. Kearis Jackson on 2 catches, which were both short throws. They haven't aimed any at their multitude of tight ends.
That's
or
exactly
the
what I was going to say. When are they going to get the ball to the tight end? There's not a defense alive that can take away a tight end with the bootlegs and all the different things you could do. And right now they got 2 of them in there.
Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington. Bowers is in the slot on the left, and that's Washington trailing him. They get it to James Cook instead, and Cook's got a first down and then some.
One of those easy little long handoffs that you can give a quarterback to get into rhythm. Throw it about 3 yards. Good job there, just taking out, blocking in front. That's where those tight ends, when you're able to play those multiple tight ends and they can run well enough in space, they can really help you in the blocking and the screen game.
James Cook got 12 off that reception.
Now they got 3 of them in over here.
And Zamir White in the backfield. They fake it to him. Bennett has to throw and get rid of it as he couldn't find anybody open and he was getting pressured. As right now we got time to look at the Dr. Pepper SEC standings, both sides. Georgia's already wrapped up the East. Alabama's got a non-conference game. They have the edge by 1 game over Texas A&M, but A&M has the win over Alabama to their credit, so that side's not done yet. And before we find out who's going to play December, the first Saturday of December in Atlanta.
How about the Pirate Mike Leach? Huh? He's got a good season going with that
football
team.
Tennessee's got a good season going under their first-year head coach Josh Heupel right now and has the lead on the top team in the land. Bennett takes off on the run, and he gets the first down. What a little move on out there in the middle of the field.
Well, remember in the Ole Miss game right here in this stadium, Matt Corral ran 30 times for 222 yards net. Gross in that game had some sack yardage, but when he ran the ball, he was effective. You knew you were going to see the quarterback run.
Stetson got 12. The guy that made the stop, Jeremy Banks, comes out. Looks like he's favoring his right arm. He's already got a brace on his right bicep. So another first down at the 42. Bennett loads it, throws short, got it to Bowers, the tight end. That's what Gary and I were just talking about. Number 19 is a mismatch for just about anybody.
Yeah, and that's how you can really break down a defense. Is you got the threat of going long, and then you've got those athletes coming across the field. Bowers gets a little bit of traffic and then kind of frees up late. Good job by that offensive line. Plenty of time on that throw. Again, a first down throw on that play action pass.
Bowers got 9 on his 29th reception of the year. Zamir White, little pitch, trying to get to the edge, got the first down. Knocked out of bounds at the 30. Georgia first down at the 30-yard line of Tennessee. Blitz coming, running play up the middle, only got a couple.
Yeah, good job that time. The inside linebacker goes to the outside for a stunt, but that defensive line is slanting right into that running play and makes the play for very little gain on first down. Watch the stunt inside. The linebackers come to the outside, and boom, they get in there and just actually taking on the block, trips over his own man.
Yeah. Only a 2-yard gain, second down and 8. Bowers in motion. Here comes a blitz from the secondary. Bennett's running for his life and tried to throw. It's scooped up. McCullough. It's an incomplete pass.
Well, the question here, does he get out inside the tackle box? Because the ball does not get it past the line of scrimmage.
Zamir White was in the vicinity, so was an offensive lineman.
And here's the tackle box. Does he get outside that tackle box? It's close, isn't it?
Pressure was coming from Beasley, and it's a third down and long again for Georgia.
Smart saved a lot of yards with getting rid of that ball. I'll tell you that, because that was a big-time sack.
Georgia's only converted 1 third down. They play the music right up to the snap almost. I'm pretty sure Georgia couldn't hear what was going on.
10 men on the field. I think there's just 10 out there for Tennessee. Good timeout. Saved the play.
First timeout of the half.
10:29 remaining first half. Timeout. We'll be right back.
Adam Zucker with the Heisman Watch, presented by Nissan. Alabama got its offense moving again against New Mexico State, yeah. Bryce Young completed his first 13 passes and tied a career high with 5 touchdown passes as well in the blowout. Kenny Pickett had a big night Thursday in the overtime win over Carolina with 3 touchdowns there. As we go back to Ness, Gary, and Jamie in Knoxville.
All right, Zuck, thanks. We'll see Bryce Young next week. Stetson Bennett's done most of the damage with his legs today so far.
Yeah, early in the game, remember, he saved the sack here with his legs. That was not a designed run. The next run he made on the quarterback draw was designed. How can this Georgia offensive line hold up in pass protection? That's the question here on 3rd and long.
This would be a long field goal if they don't pick up the first down. 3rd and 8. his time, running out of time, and running out of the pocket again, but he's not going to get the first down this time. Did get it to the 23, however.
5-man rush that time. The inside linebacker comes to extra blocker, so you can't double team any of the 4 men. And this time Stetson Bennett cannot find anybody to throw to. Flashes, but too far to get the first down. Another stop for that Tennessee defense.
So Podlesny in for a 40-yard field goal attempt out of a Jake Camarda hold. We're trying to tie the game. Podlesny from 40, right down the middle.
Right down the middle, right? Whew.
So with 9:42 remaining in the first half, have our second tie of the ball game. Stetson Bennett, they would have liked 7, but they'll settle for 3 in a 10-10 tie.
Coordinator bias.
Hendon Hooker's day so far has been impressive. A lot of easy throws and catches. Also can run.
Yeah, his overall athletic ability, when we talked to him, he said his first love was basketball, but he's an athlete, and he had threw 15 times in the first quarter of this game. 12 for 15 in the first quarter. And look at the stats right there. Total yards 124, but keeping the Georgia defense about as off balance as you can. But those last 6 first downs, the last 3, the Georgia defense has adjusted. The longest they've made in the last 3 first down plays, 3 yards. Looks like that's the down that Tennessee needs to move the ball against this great Georgia defense.
Georgia's last drive to get that field goal was 44 yards and 9 plays to even it up. And now Tennessee will come out to the 25 with Hendon Hooker. And we check in with Jamie.
Well, we saw Tennessee wide receiver Javonte Payton suffer an injury in the first quarter. That left arm and shoulder look very painful for him. Tennessee has ruled him out for the remainder of the game, guys. He caught a touchdown pass last week in that Kentucky win.
Yep, so they're down 1 more receiver.
Yeah, and those 3 guys, Jones, Payton, and Tillman, were like the big 3, the main guys. Now it's going to be Hyatt as the next guy up.
First down for the 25 for the Vols. And it's Hooker. Georgia's defense went for the tailback. Hooker got 5. Kobe Dean made the tackle.
If they gain 5 yards, they're going fast. Yep.
Hooker looking deep, going far side, and broken up, incomplete. Lewis Seen was covering back there. Jalen Hyatt, the guy Gary just mentioned.
Yeah, he had a good matchup there. Inside, you got a safety covering a speed slot right there. Seen is more of a box player, but the ball was not in the field. And Seen was able to force him wide, look for the ball. Perfect job by Lewis Seen.
We asked Hendon Hooker, when you got here after transferring, did you start throwing right away to your guys? He said Jalen Hyatt was the first guy. I called him up, and we were out on the field 12 hours after I got to Knoxville.
I think he said on Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Right away.
Quick throw to the inside. That's good for first down. Jackson makes the tackle on Fant.
And yes, he had pressure in his face right away inside. Coming in, I think it's Quay Walker, it was, and he gets the ball right in his face.
And this throw is intercepted. Picked off by Kendrick. First bad pass. Now the ball is loose at the end of the play. And Derrick Kendrick's got his second interception of the year.
I think he was trying to throw the ball to Velus Jones, number 1, the slot, and it just sailed on him. Remember the high pass he had near the goal line where almost went over the goalpost? I think he's trying to get it right here in the slot. Throws it a stop route, goes over one guy right to the other corner that wasn't even covering Velus Jones on the play. Ball just sails, and boy, not even close.
Kendrick, the transfer from Clemson, who became a starter, instant starter here in the SEC with Georgia, has the big play on the turnover. to the plate. He might have gotten a hand in the face mask of the guy trying to tackle him, but there was no call there. So it's Georgia at the 40. Bennett lofts one.
Well, that's holding, isn't it? Did he grab him?
Intended.
Oh, he did not get called.
A.D. Mitchell was the intended receiver.
I thought Alontae Taylor grabbed him by the... Let's see if he does. Oh, he got him with his left hand just a little bit and slowed him down. Yes. Look at that. From behind, he grabs him and you see, he turns around. Mitchell goes, he grabbed my back of my jersey there.
Well, he's covered some of the best receivers in his career at Tennessee that we've seen in this conference the last few years. And that time he was on the freshman and got away with one. Only a short gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
Remember on 3rd down last time, Tennessee brought an extra rusher and forced Stetson Bennett out of the pocket.
Third down and 9. And again, if they don't get some of this, it would be a long, long field goal. Trying to take advantage of that interception and trying to take the lead. Bennett, deep middle, got it, complete. McConkey for the 1st down.
Well, give this one to the offensive line. Remember last time he was flush. This time Tennessee brings 6 rushers. And this offensive line for Georgia picks it up beautifully to allow the easy throw.
Georgia giving Tennessee a little taste of their own medicine with a hurry up. And James Cook takes it down inside the 10.
It's exactly what you did. And now Tennessee has a player that's laying on the grass. And whatever Georgia fans are here, they're booing.
Georgia was going in a hurry again. They were going to go 1st and goal at the 9.
Counter Trey, squeeze through, and then get into the secondary, use the umpire as a shield, and get a big positive running play. You see the offensive lineman at the end, they're waving like, hurry up, and get up here and run another one. They probably would have come back with the same play again.
And we'll never know until we get Caleb Tremblay up. 7:47 till halftime at a tie game.
Adam Zucker in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. BJ, Rick, and I get you caught up on today's action, including Ohio State saying no Purdue hat trick of top 5 upsets. C.J. Stroud, 3 touchdown passes in the first half. That one to Garrett Wilson. It is 35-14 in Columbus. We go back to Knoxville.
All right, Zook, see you guys in 7 minutes and 47 seconds. Tremblay up and off the field. They're being shaken up at the end of the last play.
Now, watch Cedric Van Pran, number 63, the center. He makes a block that he runs up there. Watch him. Get up here. Let's go. Let's go. You were saying they wanted to give a little bit of the medicine back to Tennessee. Georgia was ready to go.
Didn't get the opportunity, but now they do have a 1st down opportunity at the 9-yard line. Again, trying to take advantage of Kendrick's interception.
Love those centers. The personalities of the centers. Teams I played on were always the best personalities. Remember last year, Landon Dickinson?
Yeah, he was something.
That's those guys that handle the ball from the center position. They are funny guys, I'll tell you.
Nobody to fake it to for Bennett, so he's going to run with it. Stetson Bennett.
Whoa.
Touchdown, Georgia.
What a play.
9-yard touchdown run by Stetson Bennett.
What I think about this, Ness, is all the time when I'm reading about the Georgia quarterback position and Stetson Bennett, all I hear about all the time is what he can't do. He can't do this, he can't do that. Well, here's what he can do, and he's been doing for the Georgia team. Gives him that extra dimension in the running game. And I tell you, his teammates play for him. It is his job, as we said in the open, to lose. And if you put W's, you don't lose your job.
That's right. But Leslie in for the point after as Georgia has taken the lead for the first time. First rushing touchdown of the season for Stetson Bennett, the 4th. Capping off a 40-yard drive following the interception for the touchdown and the lead for the Dogs.
Gibbs has
17-10, Georgia has taken the lead. Interception by their defense, 9-yard touchdown run by their quarterback. And #1 team in the country in front for the first time today.
Now Josh Heupel has to figure it out. It's a 3-and-out before that led to a field goal. So you go 3-and-out interception, and all of a sudden Georgia scores 10 points. Josh Heupel has to find his offense and produce some time for that defense to settle down, as well as we've seen when Georgia can take control of a game in the second quarter.
But now we're going to test your knowledge with our Aflac trivia question. Since 1990, which coaches have won national titles at their alma maters? Give you the answer a little bit later. First down to the 25. Hooker looking the same way, throwing the same way as when he threw the interception. This one's to Velus Jones, and a pickup of 5, almost 6. And they go in a hurry. Georgia just a 3-man defensive front. Jabari Small trying to weave his way through that group, and he's not going to make it.
So Georgia was not quite lined up correctly that time, but when we talked to Kirby yesterday, he said, listen, we watched all the games. No one has lined up correctly on every play
against these guys.
Yeah, all year, because they go fast and it's just hard to do.
On 3rd and 4, Hooker throws. Whoa, that one got away from him. That is 4th down.
That's, 2 out of the last 3 passes have gotten away from him. Remember when he completed that one with that guy, with Quay Walker right in his face? This time he goes left, and then that's another high throw. Had 3 very high throws, not even in the ballpark so far here in this game, and giving the ball back to this Georgia offense.
3-and-out. Paxton Brooks to punt.
Georgia's playing defense safe here.
Yes, they are. And now Kearis Jackson is going to trot backwards to get back around the 30. Off the side of Brooks' foot. But it does get to the near sideline of the 28. That's a fair catch, but a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Actually back in the Tennessee backfield. James Carter with our preliminary signal. False start, or maybe an alignment situation for Tennessee. I think Kirby Smart's just going to say, we'll take the ball.
When you shift like that and you don't align
illegal
properly.
formation against the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down, Georgia.
So they add the 5 at the end of the kick. That'll make it the 33-yard line, I think. Don't forget, coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Adam, Rick, and BJ will bring you first half analysis and all the highlights from around the country on a busy day in college football. The Geico Halftime Report. So Georgia gets the ball right back after only about 40 seconds since they scored their touchdown.
Yeah, well, one thing that for Tennessee defense, they're used to going back out on the field fast, but they need to stop badly now.
Zamir White stood up as he crossed the 35. And Zamir's a little tangled up with somebody, or, thought he was shaken up. I think he just had his cleats tied up with somebody else or something. He's going to go out. James Cook.
Yeah, James Cook, we had that good rundown on the goal line. You think about James Cook kind of as a scat back type guy, but he's not that way. I think Kenny McIntosh is in there right now.
Kenny McIntosh is in. Fitzpatrick, the tight end, closes in on the left side. It's going to be a throw out to McIntosh. Made one guy miss, got it near the 40. Still going to bring up 3rd down and almost 4. Dejon Terry made the tackle.
So Tennessee is last in the conference in third down defense. 49% of the time, teams are converting on third down against this defense. If they could get one, if they could hit the other side of the 49 right now, it'd be a huge stop.
And one of the worst in the country, too.
Yes.
Cook is in there on this third down.
They've been bringing 5 and 6. What will they do this time?
Mitchell and Burton are the wide receivers. Bennett was going for Fitzpatrick, the tight end, and missed him by quite a bit.
Yes, he did. Only a 4-man rush. Stayed in kind of a zone defense. Had a throw, but he, I think, expected Fitzpatrick to move more into the hole, and Fitzpatrick just stayed right there.
And it was just a button hook by the tight end, and the ball was going out in front of him. So Georgia gives it right back. Camarda to punt.
I'd call it more of a miscommunication than a bad throw that time.
Jones fields this one. Got about 3 or 4 yards on the return. With 5:08 remaining. Georgia in front. A couple minutes ago, we asked you our Aflac trivia question. Since 1990, which coaches have won national titles at their alma maters? You might guess that maybe Tennessee was one. Philip Fulmer in '98. That was 2 years after the ball coach, Steve Spurrier.
That's good.
And a little more recent. Florida had a wild game today.
Wow. 52 points against the defense. I guess might not all have been against the defense, I guess, but enough.
Hooker's throw is on target this time. And nice gain after the play. Romel Keaton wheeled around. Didn't look like he had a lot of room to work on that sideline, and picked up good yardage, about 8 yards.
Romel Keaton coming into this game because of injury only had 1 catch. And he's being counted on now.
And now it's Jahari Small with his hand on his blocker, leading the way. And a nice run by Small.
So second and short, they won on first down, and you get behind it, and as Ness said, you just see almost the old Green Bay sweep that time.
Hooker loads, going deep, far sideline, just over the fingertips of Keaton. And it was Keely Ringo covering.
And I think when you throw a ball that high, you know, you got to think your receiver can get to it. It felt like Keaton just couldn't muster that next gear to go get it. You know, that Tennessee track gear we used to see years ago. It felt like he just...
There's not a lot of Willie Gaultz out there.
Not that time. I think that ball was high enough. You expect your SEC receiver to get it, and he didn't get it.
Quarterback draw all the way, and that's not going anywhere. Actually, might have gotten 2 yards out of it after the final push. Devontae Wyatt
I think
is on the bottom of that thing, and he's still down.
I think Stackhouse first comes from the right side to make a play, pushes by, and then just kind of running and through traffic. Nothing really there that was open for that quarterback draw.
That is Devontae Wyatt, who is part of the tackle group. Face down with 4:10 remaining here in the first half. Devontae Wyatt, big senior defensive tackle out of Decatur, Georgia, and still has not gotten to his feet.
Yeah, part of that inside trio of veteran players that, you know, just kind of stuff all those run plays between the guards and the tackles.
Hooker landed right on him as he was bringing down the Tennessee quarterback. So Jordan Davis, who has not returned after being shaken up earlier, hasn't been back in the lineup yet, and now Georgia loses another one of their defensive front players.
And remember Jamie's report, you know, 10 of the players to start with, we don't know which ones were struggling coming into the game
with the
fighting the flu.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier their depth issue. They don't have a depth issue, but they do when they've got guys that are suspended indefinitely. They've got guys that have the flu bug, and now they lose another one of their starters. Davis stays over there. Jalen Carter will play the spot that Davis plays as well. Meanwhile, it's third down. Hendon Hooker set to throw. Fires in traffic, incomplete. Nakobe Dean broke it up.
I think he's the best linebacker in the country.
I haven't seen any better.
That's for sure. Inside out, calling all the plays, takes on the run, gets in the slot, takes it out, man-to-man coverage on the tight end, and makes a beautiful play. That's how you play defense as a linebacker.
And Georgia got another guy down. Might be Robert Beal, I think. Yes, it is.
And you remember he's playing for Anderson in that outside rushing spot.
So Beal, the injured Georgia player, attended his lower right leg. And gets a round of applause from the folks here in Knoxville. Some news and notes across the country. Cal and USC talking about flu bugs and everything else. The COVID issue got that game postponed. First Power 5 game postponed because of COVID-19 this year. Jim Mora Jr. back in coaching with UConn. And Auburn's Eagle Spirit retiring today. Made the first flight at Jordan-Hare in 2002. And the Spirit went down, I guess, when the leads.
For sure. Thought they had that game in hand.
Kearis Jackson waits on Brooks' punt. And we got all of this one. Jackson late fair catch and makes it right around the 10. So Georgia has 3 timeouts remaining with 3:42 to go in the half. Another little shout out news and notes. Sellers Shy, our main golf producer and former football producer, got a award last night from the National Football Foundation for the Ole Miss chapter, I should say, for his contributions to college football. He contributed to our dinner when we were down there at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Not too long ago. Sellers, congratulations.
Son plays on the team, and remember, he was on this crew for many years.
That's right.
As well.
So Georgia's 90 yards away from the Tennessee end zone. The fans are really getting into it. James Cook goes for 9, though. That'll quiet him for a second. Jeremy
So
Banks
if you're
made
Todd
the tackle.
Monken, excuse me, Brad, if you're Todd Monken, how do you manage Stetson Bennett? You know what he is, you know what he isn't, you know what he can provide. You don't want to make a mistake down here. Todd Monken has to realize they get the ball to start the second half. Kind of see where you go before you open this thing up, maybe.
That was a good way to open it with a 9-yard gain for Cook. And here comes another one for Cook up the middle across the 25 to the 26.
I think they might let him throw now to get the ball down here. Earn the first down. Plenty of time to still run this offense. As he got out enough field position now where he feels comfortable throwing the ball with him.
Kearis Jackson comes out along with Rosalie Jack Saint to the bottom. Jermaine Burton's in a slot there, so 3 receivers to this side for Bennett. If he does throw, he's just going to keep giving it to number 4 until they stop him. And they stop him after a 3-yard gain this time.
Thought we'd see a little play action there. Something was safe to the tight end, maybe. Try to bust one more play, get it out to the 40, and then really go for it. But again, calm, relax, got a 7-point lead. They don't want to put a stress on a player and make a big mistake right here.
Cook goes out. Zamir White comes in for Kirby Smart's Bulldogs. On second down and 7. Clock winding near the 2-minute mark. Bennett gonna go deep. Scott Bowers out there. Did he make the catch? Or did he run out of real estate? He's out of bounds.
Well, he caught it. Did he get his foot down? Catch.
Oh, boy.
I thought he had his left foot. They're going to have to take a look at this and slow it down. spectacular athlete, control of the ball. Did he have it with his left foot before his right foot? That's going to be the question.
You saw Kirby Smart still got the vertical jump.
Yes, he is. Right there. He could have caught it and kept a foot in. Does he have control of it when his left foot is on the ground?
Well, we saw a similar play like that, and he scored a touchdown against Florida. Gene Steratore is our rules official, part of our crew, and Gene is along with us for the first time today.
Yeah, guys, what I'm focusing on is after that initial contact with the hand, the ball does seem to separate from the receiver's hands as that left foot is lifting. So I don't think there's enough firm control on the initial foot there, and then it kind of disappears. He loses the ball for a second. When he regains it, I'm looking to see if that foot was still down. I see a separation there, and to me, I think he loses that possession, and when he reattaches it, the foot is up and the next foot hits out. I would stay with incomplete on the play.
I'll tell you what, a heck of an effort, no matter what.
His right hand has it, but he ends up with the ball in his left hand. And I think that's what Gene says, the little bit of the bobble, the ball went to his left hand.
Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The pass is incomplete. Third down.
Boy, if that would have been a more accurate throw, it would have been a huge play. Had no one really there. Jeremy Banks, the inside linebackers on coverage. That thing could have gone with a good throw, could have gone the distance. Here's the coverage right here. Inside linebacker way behind. He's got him for a touchdown, but an inaccurate throw produces the incomplete pass.
So 3rd down and 7.
Tom Monken gave him one right there, didn't he?
Yep. Bennett down the middle. That one he got in there for a first down to Mitchell. Mitchell still hand fighting for the ball and says, I've got it. And the official agrees.
Everybody who plays quarterback loves to throw the square in. Here's the square in. Look at all that space inside. And he's got an easy first down.
Now he goes back to the outside. And this is Mitchell again. Back-to-back throws to A.D. Mitchell. And just like that, George has moved it into foul territory at the 37 and plenty of time.
Remember the old advice that Pat Summerall used to say, you always got more time than you think, all right?
That's
Same
right.
in a 2-minute drill. You always have a little bit more time than you think. Just be patient, complete passes, and all of a sudden you're in the scoring zone.
Blitz coming. Bennett in trouble, and the ball is out. Georgia picks it up. It's Cook, but a whistle blown.
I think it's going to be incomplete. He kind of flipped it that time to Cook. Let's see if he's in the grasp. Cook, he throws it with his left hand.
Left-handed, okay.
Yep. I think they're going to call it incomplete. Cook misses the block, and he ends up getting the pass. Was he in the grass? Used to be in the grass. They don't call that anymore.
I guess not. You see they're in field goal territory for a long one.
Another smart play by Stetson Bennett, though, saving the sack, saving yardage.
Kenny McIntosh out in the flat. And flags down. We're going to have a holding call, I think, on Bowers.
Yes,
maybe.
it is. Yep. Talked about those tight ends on those little swing passes. He's the one that's got the block on the play, and flag goes right at him.
A little bit low. McIntosh scoops it, and Bowers has got his guy all hooked up there.
Number 19, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Trying to get a block on Banks.
Yep, Jeremy Banks. And Banks goes, all right, you had a touchdown on me. That doesn't mean you get the hold. You had me once.
Well, that backs it all the way up. It's not field goal range anymore to the 47-yard line. Second down at 20, but again, Georgia with 3 timeouts. And the target line, you see, is around the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator now for Tennessee. He's tried everything. Man-to-man, 6-man rush, 5-man rush. Anything to get that 49% on third down if we could get there. It's second 20. But right now, they need to hold this Georgia team to no first down. Get out of the half.
Bennett going to take off with it. No, he's going to throw late. He got it to Mitchell. I thought he was going to run. He was almost at the line of scrimmage, and then he just flipped it.
Remember how Stetson Bennett made a name for himself. Back in the year, he was Baker Mayfield for the scout team. That was a Baker Mayfield play right there.
3rd and 5. They bring an extra rusher. He throws again, and this one is caught again by Mitchell. He's got 4 catches on this drive.
Well, we're going to see if he caught this one. Ball is thrown exactly where it needs to be thrown, to the outside, but does he get it before it hits the ground? Looks like he got his arm underneath it. Josh Heupel was right there telling him, does it hit the ground or not? We get a late look. I think he caught it.
I think he did too.
I think he got his arm underneath the football. It bounces off his shoulder pad, and he controls it.
Well, we gave Gene a 1/4 off. Let's get him in here. Get him to work.
I'm going to make it unanimous. I agree with both of you that he bobbles it a little, but the football doesn't hit the ground. And you know what? That official on the sideline, guys, is really zeroed in and makes a great call in real time.
Yeah.
I've got a catch.
Right about there, it looks like it might pop out, but then he pins it against his shoulder pad and keeps his right elbow tucked on the ball. And
how about that?
That's something.
And as you said, Mitchell has been the star on this series.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 1st down.
Lady Mitchell. It's his drive right now with his quarterback. They moved it down to the 23-yard line.
So Stetson Bennett, most passes he's thrown this year is 21 in a game, 20 in a game. He's got 19 here in the first half.
of 19 for Bennett.
How about, we talked about that Baker Mayfield play on 2nd down. Looked like he was going to scramble, gets right to the line, is behind the line, and sticks it right in. And that's when he was playing Baker as scout team quarterback, that the defense looked over and goes, hey, we got to give this guy a look. We can't stop him.
So let's see what Georgia comes up with here. 67-yard march continues. Bennett throws this one on the ground. Bowers, the tight end, was the closest guy to the football and actually took it off one hop.
Well, not only does it save time, although Georgia does have 3 timeouts, so time is not a factor here. It's downs and distance.
This drive started at their own 10 with 3:42 on the clock, and now we're down to 43 seconds, so a 3-minute drive so far. And most of the drive has been Bennett to Mitchell, or Bennett running. James Cook flushes out of the backfield, an empty set here.
Man-to-man coverage, linebacker goes out with him. You know you got man.
Bennett loads, goes that way to the corner. Got it! Touchdown! Gary called it. Bennett threw it. Cook caught it. 23 yards for the Bulldogs score.
Modern day football, you put a running back out wide, shove the linebacker out there. Now I got it. I've got a skilled player on a linebacker, and it's gone.
That throw was perfect.
What a drive.
90 yards in 11 plays in 3 minutes. And the extra point is good. Georgia trailed 10-7 in this game. They just went 90 yards in 3 minutes. Bennett to Cook, and now they lead by 2 touchdowns. Bennett on the right, Cook on the left. That was the battery for a 23-yard touchdown pass here in the late stages of the 2nd quarter.
James Cook is going to make a great pro football player. Gives you everything. Runs inside, receiver in the slot, put him out wide.
His big brother ain't bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Dalvin, who plays for the Vikings. And if you think Kentucky or Tennessee rather is just going to sit on this thing with 37 seconds, think again, because they don't do that. They didn't do it against Kentucky in their last outing either. They went to work, just started throwing it and throwing it and throwing it so they could get some points before halftime. So we might just get to see that very same thing. They got 3 points out of it
you
against
mentioned
Kentucky.
That Josh Heupel has never had a team as a head coach that hasn't scored 14 points. He also, in 39 out of 45 games of a head coach, his team has scored 30 or more points in the game. He's going to need it.
He's going to need it now. Let's see what Hendon Hooker comes up with. A whistle before the snap. Kirby, what they were planning on.
Kirby's going to take a timeout and just go over that package we just ran. Say, guys, remember last week, these guys went for it at the end of the half.
Showed you what they did against Kentucky.
Yeah,
Let's not let that happen to us. So Georgia takes its first time out. There's Dan Lanning, the defensive coordinator, too, with his hand on Lewis Seen's helmet there. Tomorrow, beginning at 3 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the NWSL semifinals get underway, featuring two fantastic matchups. Then next Saturday at noon Eastern on CBS, the two remaining teams will battle it out, and one will walk away a champion. Great soccer action. NWSL playoffs coming your way tomorrow and next Saturday on CBS Sports Network and CBS.
And as you mentioned, Dan Lanning is in his third year as the defensive coordinator, fourth year in the program. Remember, Mel Tucker was the DC to begin with, but Dan has done a great job taking over those reins.
Yep. Hooker looking left, looking down. Georgia gets to him. Robert Beal, who was shaken up a couple series ago, comes up with a sack.
Well, I have a trusted friend that went and watches Georgia practice a lot, and he says, you know, when you go out there, you can't tell the first string guys from the second and third string guys.
Numbers are just different. Yes. That's about it. And now maybe they are just going to let the clock wind down and not try anything fancy here in the final seconds. That'll be the case, and that'll be the half. So the fans that were so riled up at the beginning, and especially when their team had a 10-7 lead, a little anxious there by their offense not trying something late in the half. Kirby Smart, meanwhile, happy with how things went there on the last series offensively and how his defense settled in after the opening drive at Tennessee. Looked like they were going to carve things up. Let's go down to Jamie.
Coach, you scored fast, you scored early. How do you recreate that in the second half?
Yeah, some things protectionally got us behind the change. We got to find a way to find more balance in our run game. Got to get it going here in the second half.
Stetson Bennett is using his feet, as everybody knows he can do. How do you contain him a little bit better?
Yeah, got to do a better job lane integrity. He's made a couple of plays, extended it, thrown it down the field, and ran one in on us, too.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Appreciate it.
So Georgia got an interception by Kendrick. They got a touchdown run by their quarterback. They got a perfect toss to James Cook, and they've got a 2-touchdown lead. As we send you Adam Zucker in our New York studio for the Geico Halftime Report. Zuck.
All right, Ness, thanks. Dogs by 14, and coming up here on the Geico Halftime Report, a busy day for playoff contenders, including an unbeaten going down and a thriller in Happy Valley after this word from your local station.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS enters quarter number 3, Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. And Georgia with a 2-touchdown lead. Welcome back to Knoxville, everybody. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. Well, Georgia trailed twice in the first half of this game, Gary, but no panic by the #1 team in the country.
We get a lot of help up here, but look what the help we had. The first 3 drives, Tennessee 26 plays for 162 yards when they got there. The last 5 series, 16 plays. Read that right there.
27 yards.
Yeah, that's
Georgia defense.
That's how you lose a lead right there.
So Georgia's defense came up with an interception that led to a touchdown. Stetson Bennett had a good first half at quarterback, both running and passing. Something like this.
Yeah, the way he finished this game, remember this potential touchdown play that he missed, but Todd Monken stuck with him. Then he sticks this throw in. That's a tight window throw, which leads the opportunity to throw the touchdown at the end of the half.
And And they open up the second half with the football. That last drive, those were the numbers for Bennett. 6 of 9, 85 and a touchdown.
Well, they put Florida away at the end of the half in about a 2-minute span. This was a second quarter that really flipped this football. It's 14 points. Nothing's over yet here, but gained control of the game.
The opening possession of the third quarter, so important so often, be it your offense or your defense. As Josh Heupel would love a 3 and out, Georgia would like about a 7-minute drive. First down to open the third quarter. Zamir White, flag down. His best run of the day is going to be negated by a holding penalty. Boy, there's enough Georgia fans here to actually have the Zeus when Zamir White carries the ball.
I think it's on Warren McClendon that time. The right tackle just grabs.
Number 70. 2-yard penalty.
It is on McClendon, number 70. Watch the right tackle right here. His man tries to go for the linebacker on the blitz, the late blitz. Tries to get his man and come off and gets the hold.
Let's check in with Jamie.
Well, 12 for 21 for Stetson Bennett in that first half. I asked Kirby Smart about those 21 attempts and if it was too much for him. He said, I don't care about balance or throwing or completions. I care about scoring. So take that for what you will. Defensively, guys, you're going to keep seeing that rotation on the line. He said those players are the ones that are under the weather.
And as you saw Jamie, you saw JT Daniels standing right next to her with his helmet on. Let's wait and see if we see him sometime today. And Mitchell on the catch, the guy that owned that last drive until the throw to Cook. A.D. Mitchell, that's 5 catches for him. There's JT Daniels. He played last week in the win over Missouri, threw a touchdown pass. But right now it's number 13's ball game, leading 24-10 here early in the third. White. Got to the 30. That's it. First half trends. Bennett on 154 and 32 on the ground. Hooker 119. A costly interception that led to a score. And it was a 17-0 second quarter shutout for Georgia.
And besides the interception, 3 inaccurate high throws really cost him in that first half. He had opportunities, but the ball started to sail him, trying to maybe throw it a little too hard, feeling the pass rush, whatever. His inaccuracies ended up hurting him in the second quarter.
This would be a big play for the Tennessee defense if they can get off the field here. Bennett all day to throw, now running out of time. And he's going down back at the 20. And it's Byron Young with a sack.
Yeah, you don't get a sack like that if that secondary doesn't do their job. Let's take a look at it. They're playing a zone defense, 3 deep, 5 underneath, no real clear, easy throw. And I bet right there Stetson Bennett says, if I don't have an easy one, I'm not going to take a chance with the lead.
And Kirby Smart watching the whole thing happen right in front of him. Camarda to punt. And a great punt by Camarda. Way back to the 18 goes Jones. And now he's coming the other way, though. Velus Jones, and he dropped the ball. Tennessee's covered it, though. A good return, a fortuitous bounce. The special teams covers it. They're going to have good field position.
I mean, things could not have started better for the Tennessee football team in the second half. They get a stop, a good return, and they get the fumble recovery.
So they'll start at the 41-yard line.
Well, we'll see. Go in at halftime, coach them up a little bit, find a couple throws, get this game back to a 7-point, 1-touchdown football game. See if Tennessee can answer.
Fake it to Small. Hooker takes it himself for a couple, maybe 3. Quay Walker in on the stop. And again, the center official gets out of the way as Tennessee hurries here. This might be a double pass. It is. Man's out there, but it just hung in the air too long, and Lewis Seen said, I've seen this before.
So Lewis Seen saw something else. When he saw the quarterback go under center on the play, that tipped him off. Something a little bit different. When you put the quarterback under center, it's a lateral throw, and Lewis Seen played pass and made the play.
It was Fant, the tight end, with the second of the two throws.
And Jordan Davis is in the game, by the way, for Georgia.
Played very little in the first half after going down on one knee and being shaken up. 3rd down and 7. Hooker on a slant, complete. And Tillman's got it down to the 41-yard line of Georgia.
3rd down conversion, a little bit of a pick, done nicely by Velus Jones that time. Just enough of a rub not to get called.
Looked like a false start on the right tackle that time.
So good news for Georgia. Jordan Davis was in there on 1st and 2nd down, went out for that 3rd down play, but to have him healthy is big for Georgia.
Offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that takes him back outside the 45. That was Cade Mays, former Georgia Bulldog. His brother Cooper, the center. His dad played here, was a captain, former captain as an offensive lineman for the Vols. Jabari Small going to be wrapped up by Nolan Smith, who we highlighted in our lineups earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to pick out the stars on defense. You can highlight anybody.
Here's Hooker, the quick throw to the outside, wide out screen to Keaton. And Georgia's got 4 or 5 guys there to hold him up.
They do, and you know, those completions, a few yards, but not enough. 3rd and long again. You got to think Tennessee, are they going to, well, they do hurry up.
Georgia had too many guys on the field. Long ball is tipped away at the last moment by Kendrick, who had the interception earlier. They got flags all over the place.
Well, Georgia tried to get their nickel or dime defense out there, and Tennessee went fast. As soon as they saw a substitution, they went kind of like a mayday call and hurried up the play.
Georgia had about 16 guys on the field at the time. And then at the end of the play.
And pass interference and too many men on the field, I think, on the play.
We'll let James Carter tell us.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Illegal substitution, more than 11 players in formation. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense, number 29, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Well, the danger that Georgia tried to do was substitute when the ball was on the far hash that time. That's what cost them. If it would have near hash, they would have got away with it. They could not get their big guys off the field in time.
Just too far to run.
Yep.
So it's a 1st down at the 23. Hooker throws out again. Same play to the other side. This one, Jalen Hyatt. And Hyatt's inside the 20. Again, just getting lined up quick enough against these guys is tough. Georgia barely did. Hooker loads, goes to no man's land, incomplete.
Well, that was a play that set up all the way to try to get the look of a quick screen on a hurry up and go deep with the football to Warren, and obviously Georgia was ready for it.
Tennessee 71 yards on the ground. Came in averaging 217.
Yeah, that's the first time in the last 5 games against Georgia they've been able to run the ball for more than 70 yards.
Here's Small in the open field, taken down by Lewis Seen.
Remember, Jamie talked to Josh Heupel at the end of the first half, and Josh mentioned we got to run the ball better because in the last 4 meetings, Tennessee has not been able to run the ball against this Georgia defense.
This time Georgia will get its substitution change, and Tennessee will go to a little sugar huddle which we haven't seen much of. About 3 yards from the football on 4th down. Hooker rolling left, looking to throw, back across his body, incomplete out of the back of the end zone.
Nowhere to go with the football. Defended perfectly by Georgia. There's a reason why they're only giving up an average of 6.6 points a game. It was an unbalanced line, somewhat of a gimmick play, nothing available.
Georgia takes over on downs.
Well, that 4th down play is an unbalanced line to the left. Little motion. Georgia is ready for it. And who are you going to throw to? Here's the number 1 receiver covered, number 2 receiver covered, number 3 receiver nowhere to go with the football.
And I got number 33 and number 4 in my face, so that's what happened to Hooker on that play. Georgia takes over at its own 17. James Cook, who's had a impressive day in the backfield with Stetson Bennett. He gets the carry, and he gets out to the 25. Stetson Bennett, the 4th. His grandpa, Buddy Bennett, coached at a lot of different places, including East Tennessee State, where his defenses were so good. They call it Bennett's Bandits. They intercepted 37 passes one year. He was the defensive backfield coach here in Tennessee for 1 season. They intercepted 40 balls.
Wow.
And it's his grandpa passed away about 5 years ago, but it would have been his 84th birthday today, Buddy Bennett.
A Bennett pickoff right about here if Georgia throws it again.
And James Cook to the edge. Did he stay in bounds? No. Tiptoed out, but he still got a 1st down.
Well, this offensive line now, as they get more and more plays, they're starting to fit inside. Justin Schaefer, 54. Early he got beat, but on that play he gets to the 2nd level and puts his hat on that linebacker.
Out to the 35. Cook with 96 yards on the ground. A couple of touchdowns, including one off the arm of Stetson Bennett. Kenny McIntosh going to take his spot here to give him a breather. This is McIntosh. Kenny McIntosh goes for 15.
Ness, you're talking about this Tennessee defense. Beasley and Banks are making a lot of tackles, but this could have been a defense that had Quavarius Crouch and Henry To'oTo'o as their inside linebackers. Crouch playing for Michigan State, To'oTo'o playing for Alabama. They had a lot of transfers from this Tennessee team.
You came up with this list. This is unbelievable. These guys are all starting somewhere else.
All starters, and not just, I'll tell you what, not just starting and not contributing. These are a lot of guys that could have given that depth that we talk about Georgia for this Tennessee football team.
So with that, you got to give credit to Josh Heupel for piecing this thing together and still being this competitive. Right now they're down 2 touchdowns with an injury on the field. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by State Farm, Dr. Pepper, Jersey Mike Subs, and by Invesco QQQ. Homecoming at Knoxville. Candace Parker was the Grand Marshal of the homecoming parade. She was here at the game as well. 2-time WNBA MVP. Todd Helton, baseball star, actually played quarterback here. Tennessee honored. So was Monica Abbott, 2-time Olympic silver medalist from the Tennessee softball team. And of course, we mentioned earlier, college and pro football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. So it's a who's who here today. But right now it's Georgia who's in front. 24-10.
Pretty good group for homecoming.
Absolutely. I don't know if you want to pick the #1 team in the country for homecoming, but they do that a long time ago. Here's Bennett on the RPO and the keeper. And he's got the 1st down before he's driven down by Trayvon Flowers.
Is he looking to lateral that ball? He's kind of got a wry smile on his face. Watch when he gets out.
Who's he going to lateral to? There's nobody out there.
Yeah, somebody comes from behind there, and I think he's looking at the end of it. Can he lateral the football?
Oh, at the very end.
Yeah, right at the end of the play.
Yeah, you don't want to get that fancy. Anyway, he got a first down to the 40. Now he's going to throw out the flat. That one got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Getting a hand in the way was Jaquan Blakely.
Just one more look, just curious. I mean, is he crazy enough to actually kind of look at him, look back there? No,
he said, nah, that's a lineman. I don't try. Tight end, maybe.
Patrick.
Yeah.
That would be a Baker Mayfield play, by the way, if he did that.
You're not kidding. Second down and 10.
That might be a JT Daniels next play if he did that too.
Big Darnell Washington in motion, the tight end. That one's over the head of Kenny McIntosh. And that's one thing that he has a little bit of an issue with when somebody comes off that edge and he's not quite tall enough to see over.
No, it's hard for him to kind of get on top of the football.
Yeah.
He kind of has to let it go. But in this case, again, I think he's thinking, you know, just my guy or nobody on that play. Got roughed up a bit, didn't he?
He did. Georgia 4 out of 9 on the third down conversions. This is not really field goal territory for Podlesny.
So do they blitz or do they drop in zone? It appears to be zone.
Get it in James Cook's hands. Thought about it. Now Bennett's running for his life, and he's got a defender that's just as fast as he is. Might be a horse collar, though, which would really change the complexion of this thing, because it would have been a huge loss. Byron Young ran him down.
Couldn't outrun Byron Young, but maybe just enough to get, as Ness said, the horse collar. I broke my ankle on a play just like that.
They didn't call him in your day.
Nope, and it wasn't a penalty either.
There were 2 fouls in the play, one by each team. Personal foul, horse collar tackle against the defense. Intentional grounding on the 13 offense. Those penalties all set. And we play third down.
So we'll do it all again.
The ball, even though he's outside of the pocket, he doesn't, with the football, get it across the line of scrimmage. Seems like there should be a call when you're in imminent danger like that. It should be able to, when you're getting a
Get
horse
rid of
foul,
anything.
you should be able to do whatever you want on the play, I think.
Byron Young is an unbelievable story. Came out of junior college, Georgia Military College. And he walked on and tried out there. He's working at a Dollar General store, and now he's playing in the SEC. And he's a really good player.
He's a really fast player, I'll say that.
Third down and 10. Bennett down the middle, tucked it in complete, and a first down to Bowers.
Stop route. He knows he's going to Bowers one-on-one. The ball's halfway there when Bowers turns around. Remember that pass against Florida, similar for a touchdown.
And that was to Bowers, too.
Yep. Threw it early, feathered it up. That one was halfway to Bowers. And he knew it. He had a one-on-one, and he liked the matchup, and he let it go.
James Cook closing in on a 100-yard rushing game. At the 7-minute mark of the third quarter, Georgia on the drive. They've worked it to the Tennessee 23.
Stetson's gone 25 throws, the most I've done all year. I would need a little liniment done.
That's right.
And
if I complete one more, that's going to be more than I've completed all year. Here's Cook on the end around. Got a good block. James Cook.
Did he pitch it to him? Because if he did, it's going to count as a pass.
It is.
Yep.
So there's your 15th completion. This is as good as James Cook's looked all year, I think.
You know,
doing everything.
Yeah, one of the great things about depth at running back is every guy that comes in there is ready to go. He's fresh, long season, but when they get their turn, they're ready.
Including Zamir White, who's in there now. And he'll get the handle. Only got about a yard. Jeremy Banks, another tackler. He's around the football a lot, number 33.
Jeremy Banks, who began his career as a running back. This time, it's almost a dream play for a middle linebacker. No one in your face, running back coming right at you.
Coming off a 14-tackle game in the win over Kentucky, and his season high in tackles last year was 8 against Georgia.
On 99 plays, you got a lot of opportunity.
That's right. Here's the pitch to Zamir White.
Oh!
There's a collision, and he still got it inside the 10. Alante Taylor.
Well, if you're an offensive player, you're almost tired of hearing about how physical the defense is. You love them, but you want to show that the offense can be physical too, and that time Zamir White showed it.
Georgia now racking up the time of possession, the yardage total, and looking to add more points here at the 9-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Bennett wants to throw to the end zone, high and incomplete, intended for Fitzpatrick, the tight end. Bowers was there too. Aaron Beasley made the play.
Yeah, well, this time throwing to a covered receiver, coming right up the middle right there is Fitzpatrick. He knows it's a stop-and-go, cover-2 coverage. Good job that time, taking the stop-and-go route and making it for nothing. Beasley does the job for Tennessee.
So that brings out the field goal unit. Jack Podlesny in to try a 27-yard field goal out of a Jake Camarda hold. We'll call it 26 yards, and we'll call it good. Georgia tacks on 3 more.
Yeah, and it's a nice drive also. 13 plays, taking some time off the clock, and now making it more than a 2-possession game.
Top-ranked Georgia now by 17 with 4:41 to go in the 3rd quarter. Invesco brings you today's Scholar Athletes. Jake Camarda for Georgia, Matthew Butler for Tennessee. Invesco proud to support student athletes on and off the field with a donation of $1,000 to Georgia and Tennessee's general scholarship funds.
So during the commercial, Ness mentions me. Remember earlier we mentioned about Adele, and you just go Adele, Bruno Mars, you know.
Yeah.
You said that's my guys, that's my music, and you said I'm a Kenny Chesney guy.
Yeah.
Did you get a text from Kenny Chesney? Is that true?
I just did, yeah. He said he's a Brett Nessler guy. Did you get one from Adele?
And I didn't get one from Bruno Mars either. Neither one. I got one from Bruno, my plumber, but that doesn't count.
It will if you have toilet problems at home.
Exactly. Kenny Chesney is texting you during the game.
Well, he's a big Tennessee fan, one of the biggest.
There you go.
Actually did a movie about Conbridge Holloway. He was part of Jamie's halftime report about Sonic.
That's why he always doesn't listen to me. He's talking to Kenny Chesney. I don't blame you, basically.
Georgia's defense, they have clamped down since really the opening 2 drives for Tennessee.
Yeah, and if you look at this, one of the reasons they have is they just don't give up big running plays. For the season, more than 200, almost 300 plays, only 2 for more than 20 yards running the ball. Amazing.
So now Tennessee, it's vitally important that they get some points here pretty soon to stay in this thing. With 20 minutes of game time left. Empty backfield, receivers out to the right. Going to go with the wide-out screen to Jones. And got about 8 out of it.
When you talk to everybody about, you know, moving the ball against Georgia, you say you got to figure out a way to control those linebackers. And you saw Quay Walker right there, sideline to sideline, making a play.
Booker going back to the right side again. Tillman broke a tackle. He's big and physical, and he gets some good yardage down the far sideline to midfield. We're very close to it.
Short pass, missed tackle. And as Ness said, positive play. That's part of this offense. One-on-one. You don't have to block 8 guys, 7 guys in the box. You just throw it outside and let your athletes go one-on-one.
That's big. Dramel Walthauer who's down for Georgia right now. They work on his lower right leg or ankle. We'll take a timeout. Be right back. Now let's take a look at our GMC game changers. Stetson Bennett, the fourth, showing his wheels on that touchdown run of 9 yards. Showing the accuracy and the firing it down the middle to A.D. Mitchell on the drive before halftime. And then the perfect shot to James Cook to give him their 24th point. So there's his numbers.
And through the whole game, Todd Monken has kept him in balance and never like out over his skis. He's been in control.
First down at midfield. Now they bring the tight end Fant back in, motioned out, bringing everybody a little bit tighter. Booker low snap. He's going to run with it all the way here. Does a nice job of it. Picked up 7.
Moving the ball. You're down 17. Yes, you just got to take it one series at a time. Try to make a game of it in the fourth quarter.
From the 43, 2nd and 3. Small hit in the backfield by Nolan Smith, and he falls forward. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, though.
I think we're going to get back-to-back runs here. The situation earlier in the game, they didn't pick up a short yardage this one. They had 3rd and 4th down.
Oh, and Hooker's going to be knocked down by Kobe Dean in the backfield. Wow. He's something.
Yeah, this one should have been handed off. This might have been a read into Kobe Dean playing that defensive end from kind of the bear look when he shifts out to the outside, and that was a give all the way. You can't keep it. That guy's tracking you.
And now instead of 2 runs, you're 4th and 5.
No choice but to go for it here.
Right. Under 3 minutes in the third, trailing by 17. Georgia stopped them on a 4th down a little bit earlier. Hooker has time and delivers to Tillman again. First down.
Oh, he sure stepped into that throw. You know, a lot of them have sailed on him. His dad, he told us his dad taught him how to throw. High elbow like a tennis serve. Left hand slap your brother as you throw it and step into your throw.
Wipe the windshield and slap your brother.
You got it. And he did it that time. Perfect. Fundamentals on that throw, and he delivered a strike.
2nd down at 6. Trouble coming. Down he goes. Georgia with a sack. Channing Tindall.
And Channing Tindall is a great blitzer coming from that linebacker spot. And he does it on this one again. Comes in there free, takes the edge, and makes the play. Not a lot of time when those guys are coming.
Tindall came in as a leading tackler for Georgia.
That's 3 pretty good players. That a lot of teams, it might be their main guy if he was playing middle linebacker.
He had 2 sacks against Tennessee last year, and that's his 2nd sack of this year. Now it's 3rd down and a whole bunch. Hooker down the middle, incomplete, no flags. Coverage was Keely Ringo on Romel Keaton.
Keely Ringo, the young freshman, getting a chance to play. Remember, this secondary lost 4 drafted defensive backs from a year ago. Ringo is getting an opportunity to play. He's probably their 3rd corner to come on the field. Had Kendrick as a transfer, they might be in deep trouble in a second.
They had a couple guys transfer as well, so they lost a whole bunch of their secondary. Well, 4th down and 13. And again, no choice but to just keep powering forward.
Josh Heupel took a timeout.
Maybe he's going to think about this one and not go for the 4th down conversion and punt it away. We'll see. A minute and 14 to go in the quarters. We check in with Jamie.
Well, we we mentioned at the top of the show that Georgia was dealing with this stomach flu bug. You're not going to see Jalen Carter on the D-line for the rest of today. He is on the bench in street clothes. He is out because he is sick.
Man. Georgia hopes that all that will dissipate over the course of the next week. They've got a non-conference game next week against Charleston Southern. Then they finish off the regular season against their arch rivals, Georgia Tech. And then it's on to the SEC Championship in Atlanta. Jamie?
Well, Kirby also added that they're doing their best to keep this thing contained. They tried to pick out the sick players coming into last night's travel and keep them separated travel, separated meal eating amongst the team. But Kirby told me today that the number, as you had mentioned, had increased from 4 to 8 players, and some of them, as we mentioned, affecting some of the starters. So they're doing the best to stay ahead of this thing. But huddles like this, I'm sure, doesn't help a stomach flu bug.
That's like you trying to keep Avery away from Brooke. It doesn't work, Jamie.
2.5-year-olds and 6 months old, they got it. They have to bang heads every once in a while, don't they?
That's right. CBS Tuesday from executive producer Dick Wolf. The elite teams prove that justice has no borders. First it's FBI, then FBI International, and ending the night with FBI Most Wanted. These 3 teams are all on one night. The FBI's Tuesday starting at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, and our CBS crew at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, where Kirby Smart played. Of course, he was captain and All-SEC in '95, and he picked a few of Peyton Manning's passes off. 3 of them in his career, including that one right there. Those guys met out on the field before the game, had a little conversation. I'm sure that was interesting. We weren't privy to it, but we saw it happen. 4th down at 13, and from behind, Hooker got away from Smith, but not from Tyndall. Another sack from Channing Tyndall on this drive, and Georgia takes over.
Well, he matched up against Darnell Wright, the left tackle, number 58, and just beats him. Goes to the outside, quickness to the outside, and Wright just cannot hold him off long enough. And that athletic speed around the corner, you can see it. It just pops when those guys, those big, fast defensive ends, tough to handle for any tackle in college ball.
Well, we've seen either in person or on tape just about every Georgia game, and these guys feed off each other. It's like sharks going after blood in the water, and that whole group on that sideline, everybody wants to get in on the act. Zamir White. He's had a tough go of it today. James Cook's done most of the damage on the ground.
Yeah, he's under 30 yards, rushes even to 30 yards, and he's carried the ball 9 or 10 times. He hasn't been able to bust one in the game.
No. The clock becoming the Volunteers' enemy as well. White goes out. Might be coming up on the final snap of the quarter. Kenny McIntosh in the backfield with Stetson Bennett. It's going to be Bennett on the keeper, and he's got a first down and slides to the 45. Nifty.
So this is the extra dimension. If there's an advantage, one, played a lot of games, getting the feel, a lot of play for him, but the legs, the wheels, those little keeper plays and bootleg plays. When we talked to Todd Munson, he said that's what he separates him from JT Daniels.
And Georgia's been separated from every team they played so far, and they're 15 minutes away from being 10-0. End of 3. Georgia 27-10. The boys have fall for the Dogs, putting a hurting on the Volunteers right now. Depot SEC on CBS enters the 4th quarter in Knoxville. Top-ranked team in the country leading the Volunteers here. 27-10. Georgia with a first down to open the 4th quarter. At the ball's 48. Bennett with a handoff And Kenny McIntosh gets to about the 41-yard line. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl. Well, the opening drive of the game, Georgia didn't look like the Georgia we've seen so far. And the consensus was if anybody can beat him, maybe it's Tennessee. But do you see any weaknesses since that first drive?
Flu bug? That's it. That's all I got so far. Maybe you might want to attack the secondary, but that's easier said than done with this pass rush that they got.
Empty backfield. Bennett throws complete. Donnell Washington.
Courageous throw that time by Stetson Bennett. He's staring right into that blitz coming right at him. Watch this, coming right at him. He knows he's on block, steps into the throw, and then duck. Don't fall back and throw. Step and duck, puts it right there. The big man makes the catch.
So they move the sticks to the 33 with that throw and catch. Bennett with more completions today than any other game this year, and we've still got 13:45 to go. Wants to throw again. A little bit behind his receiver, but he made the catch. Burton, and he's still going. Wow. All the way down to the 11-yard line.
This is an RPO. The offensive line is running a running play. Watch this. Downfield. He's blocking a run. Pull it out. Throw the slant right behind. Beautiful catch.
Burton coming off a 3-catch, 76-yard touchdown against Missouri last week. Probably his best performance since he's starting to get healthy. And now the numbers are starting to pile up for Stetson Bennett. Kenny McIntosh up the middle. He's down to the 5.
So those offensive linemen are turning around and clapping. You know they're doing something well when you turn around and start clapping. This time, big Broderick Jones in for Salyer, number 69. 59 makes the second level block. And right now, those season of plays, 80 plays a game, this Tennessee defense is facing, starts to mount up as Georgia basically does whatever they want in this drive.
Aaron Beasley is the guy we're going to have to help to the sideline. The junior out of Franklin, Georgia.
And I think it was Jones's block on him that caused that ankle to kind of give way, or knee or whatever, but big Broderick Jones got on it and made the block.
This is a long walk for the two guys helping out Aaron Beasley. He was actually away from the play, I think. I'm not even sure if he
Yeah, he's right here. He's right in front of him. He flows, and then Jones gets it and kind of just keeps running away. Almost looks like he was hurt before he got blocked.
Yeah, I think so. And his head coach there to meet him, Josh Heupel.
And when we talk to the players, the one thing they said about Josh Heupel is he loves us.
Yeah.
I mean, he just takes us for what we are, doesn't say, you know, what you aren't. He's just right in the middle of the screen. You're going to see it again. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He turned his ankle before Jones made the block.
Slipped.
Yep, his left ankle.
Georgia can get a first down without scoring. Not sure what the stoppage is about, unless it's a clock issue.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 13:32. 13:32 on the game clock.
So that was a whole minute difference. And we've got it switched up. Again, line of scrimmage is the 5. Georgia can get a first down at the 2. James Cook, the tailback behind Zamir White, who's playing fullback, and he gets the toss sweep. James Cook to the corner into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. tack on another score for number 4.
Watch Cedric Van Pran, the center, reaches and turns. It all starts right here. He's got to reach out and block the tackle to his right. Get some help from Truss, number 73. But that seals it off, and then Cook takes it in. Boy, they're a machine up there right now up front.
Zamir White did get a good block as far as leading the way as well.
I formation fullback, take it around the end, old hobnail boot offense right there, right?
But Lesney's extra point is good. With 13-14 remaining in the ball game, James Cook having himself a day, capping a 60-yard march with that touchdown run. For Bennett, so he's going to run with it. Stetson Bennett. Whoa. Touchdown, Georgia. A look at our Ally game recap. Tennessee actually led twice in this game, but Georgia's run off 27 unanswered. Stetson Bennett, a rushing and a passing touchdown. James Cook, 3 touchdowns today. He has matched his single game high of 104 yards rushing. And he's been the man today for the offense.
Yeah. And as the sights for this Georgia program now is completely set on winning a national championship. They've got a team good enough to win a national championship, and they're doing it in a style that a lot of people thought has left college football. You know, the past few years, Bama, LSU, Clemson, and Bama all run it with kind of a spread offense. Right. This has gone back all the way to Alabama 2015, playing a team built around a defense and a quarterback. Remember, Jacob Coker was a quarterback on that team. You know, not the main guy. A lot of people thought this style of football couldn't win anymore. Well, we're going to see.
Like we just said, 2 regular season games left, and then a date in Atlanta against the winner of the West. Maybe it's Alabama, and if so, then it'd be number 1 against number 2 if nobody loses between now and then. Fair catch called for. Tennessee will bring it out to the 25-yard line. Speaking of Alabama, next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, another afternoon of the SEC on CBS. Should be a good one. Number 25, Arkansas in Tuscaloosa to take on the Tide. It all starts with the drive to Atlanta presented by Mercedes-Benz, followed at 3 Eastern by State Farm College football today. That's all next Saturday right here on CBS. And the West Side, you say, what's it look like? Well, tonight, Ole Miss and Texas A&M. We'll be watching that one on the iCruiser bus.
Ready.
And then LSU, and next week, Arkansas, and then Auburn in the Iron Bowl for Alabama. And remember, Texas A&M, the only blemish on Alabama's record is Texas A&M picking them off at College Station. Cedric Tillman in the open field, down the sideline and out of bounds at the 25. So a big play for the Volunteers.
So 1 broken tackle, little slant on the play, not handled well enough, breaks the tackle from Kendrick, and it goes and pops for a huge play.
50 yards, 51 in fact, to the 24. And a quick throw back to him. And Tillman wrapped up at the 20-yard line. But a quick strike and a big gainer as Tennessee back cooking here on offense.
So you always know those slant passes, they're going to gain yards. As we have another Georgia player down on the field. But 1 missed tackle when you spread out. That's what this Josh Heupel offense is trying to accomplish.
I think that might be Zion Logue.
Yeah, I think it is 96, yes. I think he is, yeah, right there at the middle of the screen. Right there, he's plowing through. Gets pulled down and stays down.
And he's still down. And we've got a timeout. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile, Allstate, Wheels Up, and by Sonic. From one Smoky to another. Got to have a blanket on Smoky 10. It's a little nippy out here. It's a beautiful day, and there's the other Smoky. Lindsey Nelson's daughter, Nancy, was once the Smoky mascot in that costume back in the day. And Lindsey last night was honored, posthumously, obviously, as a member of the ROTC here in Knoxville. Of course, longtime voice around here that everybody loved, and had an opportunity to meet him a few times. Great guy. We used to go home after church every Sunday morning, and he's doing the replay of the Notre Dame game. We pick up the action later in the third quarter. Second down and 5. Hooker. He's not going to get to the AT&T 5G pylon cam. He went the wrong way.
No, it was going to be a quick screen. It was covered well. He had to go and just try to get what he could, but you're not going to get outside Quay Walker.
Nope. So it brings up third down and long again, but this is obviously 2-down territory.
Quay Walker, one of those numerous 5-star athletes that Kirby's recruited over the years here on this Georgia football team.
Volunteers need to get to the 14 for a first down. Hooker wanted to throw, I think, and now he's over the line of scrimmage, I believe. Incomplete pass. Maybe not.
It has to be everything past the line of scrimmage. Even if your back foot is behind the line of scrimmage, it will. But he's over it. Well, it was close, wasn't it? If the blue line is correct.
Right.
Starts. I think his right foot was right on the line. The linesman's right there looking at it. Close enough not to make the call, it looks like.
Fourth down. Hooker fires, got a man, and it's Jones complete at the 11-yard line. Good for a first down.
Remember that matchup? Lewis seen a safety type on Velus Jones. A wide receiver, that's a tough matchup for a safety on a guy in the slot like that. You like to have a corner on a guy like that.
At the 11, first and 10. Run all the way. No, more like a Tim Tebow lob over the middle, and not Nakobe Dean. Quay Walker almost picked it off.
One of those play-action plays where you just do it with the quarterback, just like Tebow, Cam Newton type play, but defended well. Look at that defense. Quay Walker smelled it out and got back in there, almost overran it.
Big Jordan Davis almost got Hooker before he let go of that thing.
Yep.
So Georgia trying to substitute as Tennessee has. And both teams kind of slow to substitute, as a matter of fact. Georgia now, can they get lined up in time before they snap it? And Georgia takes the timeout. Just too much confusion. Tennessee was afraid they weren't going to have enough time to get the playoff. Georgia wasn't lined up the way they wanted to be, according to Kirby Smart, and thus the timeout with 11:22 to play.
Adam Zucker with this Jeep update from a game that used to mean so much more. Miami was down 17-0 against Florida State. They come all the way back. Tyler Van Dyke's pass, whee, off Keyshawn Smith to Mike Harley. They're up 28-20 midway through the fourth quarter and enjoying it. Ness, back to you.
I hope it doesn't come down to a field goal, Zook.
You've been there. You've been there, right, Ness?
Bunch of times.
Yeah, the timeout by Georgia. Georgia was in their Canadian defense here with a 5-2-5 look. 12 men on the field. Good timeout.
Second down and 10 for Tennessee at the 11. Got 3 receivers down to the bottom of the screen. Now they're going to shift and bring the tight end Jacob Warren back in close. Hendon Hooker on the run, trying to follow his blockers. Might have gotten to the 8. Devontae Wyatt and Nolan Smith bring him down, and Smith is still down, holding his left elbow. Every time somebody ends up on the deck now on defense, the fans that are remaining start booing, but in this case there was nothing hurry up about this.
Boy, as he pulled away, it almost like it tweaked his left elbow or shoulder there.
Nolan Smith in and out and back in the medical tent for Georgia.
I think Devontae Wyatt, number 95, right here as he hits the late tackle, he catches Smith's elbow or arm on the play and kind of catches it and kind of tweaks it on the tackle, and Smith doesn't know it until right at the end when he releases. Here's a look from behind. He's going to go in and tackle and watch him catch that left elbow as he comes in.
Right there.
Boom.
Friendly fire. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, it's 3rd down and 6. Need 2 downs to get to the 1 if necessary, or the end zone. Hooker flushed out of the pocket. Down he goes, way back at the 20. Ball is out. Georgia tracking it down, and they pick it up. Trayvon Walker steps out of bounds with it, if indeed it's a fumble. The officials say it is.
So how about this? A 3-man rush and really 2 spies on the play. Tracked down by Tyndall, and Dean was ready as well.
That's Tyndall's 3rd sack of the second half.
Yes. They read 3-man rush and then 2 linebackers just waiting for the quarterback to break out of the pocket.
So Georgia has stopped Tennessee on 4th down plays on the last 3 drives, and with it they've kicked a field goal and scored a touchdown. But again, there's Tyndall with sack number 3. The ball comes out because his body was never down. Hooker's body was on top of Tyndall's when the ball came out. And they're going to check this, but let's see if what we think is, now his hand is down. Well, his body's still on Tyndall.
Left elbow down, that's the question. Forearm, elbow, that's the question. Watch his left arm here.
Gene Steratore is with us.
And
Gene, what do you think?
I was anticipating what Gary was going to go with hand, but I'm going to fill in on it, Brad. I was also looking at Hooker's right ankle as his leg gets bent underneath of him. If his right shin is down, he is down by contact. The ankle or that side of the foot would not put him down. I think the ball becomes loose before the left elbow hits, and I do believe it's just the right ankle. I don't see a shin. There's a great look. It just looks like the side of the foot, so that keeps him up. And then as we go down here, it appears to me that he's begun to lose control before that forearm hits the ground.
Going to be Georgia ball anyway.
Yeah, 4th down anyway. It's just where does Georgia get the ball?
Right. Tyndall will still get credit for the sack.
That sneaky Gene was looking at that right ankle. I didn't see that. Oh, he's got that little extra experience looking for that stuff we don't know.
I've got to hold one every once in a while, Gary. You know, I got to put one in my pocket.
I don't blame you.
He's hiding his cards. Right there. Yep, that's a great look at it.
Gene's going to win this, isn't he?
I think so.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down, Georgia.
Okay.
I think we did a better job than they did, tell you the truth, Gene. You should have got the win on that.
I'm with you on that one, Gary.
That's a loss of 20 as well, and also a loss of an opportunity to cut into the lead here.
Yeah, and that's going to take that rushing yardage down, you know, under 70 yards again for the game.
The Spike squad, I think they had to let Tyndall just keep that on the rest of the game, the way he's played in the second half. And I was wondering whether we'd see JT Daniels maybe with a 34-10 Georgia lead, but it's Stetson Bennett. And Zamir White. And Zamir White finally broke one and almost broke it open. Out across the 40.
Well, we know what Zamir White can do. Sooner or later, he's going to take that power and bust one of those plays. But tonight, as we've watched, it's been the James Cook show.
Yeah. Zamir came in as a leading rusher for Georgia on the season.
And for Georgia right now, it's let's get off this field. Nobody else getting hurt. No more flu bug, and take it to the house and go to the next game.
Get back to Athens and get some chicken soup. 10 minutes to go. White again. And White now taking people with him. And this is a case sometimes they get kind of tired of trying to tackle number 3 late in the game. Jamie?
Well, you mentioned potential seeing JT Daniels here in the fourth quarter. There's a lot of commentary about this quarterback dynamic, and Kirby Smart has maintained confidence in both of these quarterbacks, and I feel it's important to tell everybody that the dynamic between Stetson Bennett and JT Daniels on the sideline is truly leaving Stetson as the starter. JT supports him in a way that all quarterbacks do, talking over indicators of coverage and what they're seeing, but it's not as if these two are still battling. The team understands that this is Stetson's spot, and JT is working with him hand in hand.
We saw JT's parents, Steve and Allie, outside the hotel this morning as Zamir White's going to get another first down and get into Tennessee territory. This is the first week that he's felt good enough. There's his mom and dad. You can't look more like your dad than you. He does. He does. But they said that this week, Jordan Palmer, his personal quarterback guru, coach, whatever you want to call it, flew into Athens, and they kind of went through all his mechanics and all that, trying to get ready for the end of the season.
So now JT Daniels has to be ready. Is there going to be a game? You know, when is it? Is it going to be the SEC championship game or playoff game where they may need him? And that's the discipline he has to do. He owes it to his teammates to be ready if it's needed.
End around coming for Bowers. He scored once on the ground this year. He's got a big gainer here, and he's still going. Bowers inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. 24 yards, rumbling down the field for number 19.
Well, they've got their pick of plays here, and they're just letting it happen. Anything they want, they just are dialing up. And right now, this Tennessee defense is going, we're not going to win the game, and they're blocking us pretty well right now.
That is one impressive freshman, number 19. And all the tight ends gang up on the left side. That's where Kenny McIntosh is, to the left of Bennett, and he gets the underhand toss. McIntosh, and he's down inside the 10 to the 5.
Well, the tough thing, and we've talked about this formation, and I predicted more teams would be doing it. 3 tight ends in the field. It's like having 8 offensive linemen and 3 of them being eligible to go out for a pass. It's a tough formation. If you've got those type of versatile players that can block like Bowers does right there and still go out for passes with speed, that's a valuable formation for this football team. They outflank you and outmuscle you at the same time.
They've got the same formation set up again. To the left. First and goal at the 5. This time a straight handoff to McIntosh, and he is in. Touchdown, Georgia. Kenny McIntosh from 5 yards.
Well, that's a way to finish a football game. A 6-play drive, all runs, and stick it into the end zone.
Kenny McIntosh, his second rushing touchdown of the year, and a happy Kirby Smart over there on the sideline as well. He should be. So after the fumble recovery, 73 yards and 6 plays. Rod Leslie in for the point after. And it's up and good. And Georgia now running away with this thing as they have scored 41 points after trailing 10-7 earlier in the ball game. Don't forget, coming up before we're done, it's the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. That guy just made the play of the drive. Kenny McIntosh On a 6-yard touchdown run, a 5-yard touchdown run.
He made the last play of the drive, but there was a lot of good plays on that drive.
Sure was.
All running, most of them to the left. Tight ends in the game. Blocking and running, as we saw in the reverse.
Tennessee will work from the 25 on the fair catch.
So the only question now is, can this Georgia defense that has shown a little bit of everything in this game, and they don't do it just not being sophisticated. They got great players, but they do a lot of stunting and movement up front that makes it tough. They're good players, and Dan Lanning puts them in a lot of good spots. The only question now with this great defense, can they keep the streak alive of 13 points or less in a football game?
Well, there you see the teams that they have held in check and way under their normal games of scoring points. And I got a new quarterback in for Tennessee, Joe Milton, who was the starter the first couple of weeks of the season, will take over for Hendon Hooker.
Delay a game.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's not the way you want to start a drive. So Hendon's day is done. The night, I should say. 24-37, 241, 1, and an interception. Not terrible when you look at him, but wasn't nearly enough against this Georgia defense. Milton has it batted in the air. Mel Walthour.
Chance to play. Walthour says, yeah, I'm good too. I was recruited 4-star, 5-star, whatever. Take a guess, just go 4. You can't be that far off.
That's right. Quick throw out to Jones. And he's wrapped up and actually going to lose about a yard. Kendrick out there on the corner. So 3rd and long. Joe Milton, a transfer from Michigan, played there 3 years before coming here to Rocky Top. Started the season, and now the number 2 guy, and the number 2 guy in today. Going to show his arm here. Deep ball, man there, got it. Down to the 26 to Cedric Tillman.
Tillman does a good job of using his body to keep him between him and the ball. Kendrick is there, but he backs up into him and makes the catch.
So Tillman is at a 50-yarder and a 53-yarder now. One was a run and a catch. That one was, most of that 53 was in the air. Jalen Wright gets it inside the 20.
It's not like Kirby has called off the dogs here. He wants to hold and keep this defensive record going.
And Devontae Wyatt down again.
He's got most of his starters in the game. Or how about regular rotation of players
that's
in
right.
the game?
He doesn't even talk about starters when you got about 24 guys you play over there.
And like we said, what the only thing they want to do now is get off the field without an injury.
Yeah.
Well,
senior out of Decatur, 2nd time today he's been down, first half and now.
Now, Jalen Carter's just sick. He's out of the game. Nolan Smith out of the game. And now Devontae Wyatt.
.537 remaining in the ball game. We'll be right back. And they're just getting Devontae Wyatt up to his feet now and heading to the sideline. With 5:37 to go before Adam, Rick, and BJ will be standing by with today's best highlights and their thoughts on the always evolving playoff picture. That's coming up on the College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage.
I'll tell you one team it was a good day for. I think Cincinnati with Oklahoma losing. That was a
that
big,
helps.
Yep, that was one of that something to have to get it back in the picture. I know they're behind them, but an undefeated Oklahoma could be tough to handle for Cincinnati.
Cedric Tillman today, by the way, 9 catches, 188 yards, which is his career best.
By the way, Jordan Davis in the football game. Right here, I think he is.
He's hard to miss. Milton fires to the corner, tipped away at the last moment by Lewis Seen.
So if you don't think this Georgia defense or program wants this record, it's 41-10, and they've got their starters out there trying to hold off this last score. Great coverage that time. Not only the tip, but Kendrick is right there with the coverage as well.
Third down and 2. And they get the 2, not by much. Jalen Wright got just to the marker. Gary was talking about the updated college football playoff standings. Alabama 59-3 win. Georgia's going to win this one. And maybe a 1-yard gain there as we go back and look a little longer at that. So Cincinnati over USF. Ohio State winner over Purdue. Tonight Washington State and Oregon get together. And then down there the Baylor win over Oklahoma. Oklahoma State also in the top 10. TCU tonight for them. Milton quarterback draw. Didn't draw much except tacklers. Chaz Chambliss made a tackle.
That's life as being the defensive coordinator for Nick Saban or Kirby Smart. Kirby had to take it all those years at Alabama.
Now he can give a little.
He gives a little out. Yep.
Jordan Davis trying to get off the field. I don't know if he did. Milton to the far side, caught, and it's Jones a couple yards shy of the first down. They didn't throw a flag.
I think they did.
Did they?
Yep.
I didn't see the flag, but I did see Jordan Davis not get out of bounds before that snap. Oh, now I see the flag way down at the 2-yard line.
Illegal substitution against the defense. More than 11 players on the field during the play. 5-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Kirby saying to the head linesman, you know, he weighs 360 pounds. Give him a yard.
Right, exactly. It's like 12 and a half men on the field, too. It's the most tired he's been.
That's
just
right.
Running off the field.
He is a big man.
Coach, I'd rather just stay out there.
Milton flagged down, might have a holding when the pass is incomplete.
There is going to be it. I think left tackle Darnell Wright, number 58, is going to get beat, just drags him down.
Holding. Offense, number 58. That penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Whoa. We talked about it right here, matched up. A little surprised. I kind of thought Georgia would take that, wouldn't you, for a 10-yard penalty right there to make it 3rd and 15. He's going to go, what, 4th and 6?
Yep. And they've stopped all but one of the 4th down attempts by Tennessee. Milton fires to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Tennessee. Bayless Jones. I beg your pardon, Cedric Tillman to cap off a brilliant day. Now he's in the end zone.
Well, Kirby rolled the dice, trying to stop him on 4th down again. And they stuck it in the end zone. Good throw. Got the outside receiver on a slant. One-on-one coverage. They blitz inside. You know you got one-on-one. And outside leverage, he takes it inside and he completes it.
Tillman, that'll put him at 200 receiving yards and a touchdown today on 10 catches. That's a pretty good day. Chase McGrath, the point after is up and good.
Just one more look at the touchdown. You've got a blitz on. You've got man-to-man coverage. They got to get all the way to the end zone. You've got inside technique here. The only place you can't get beat is inside. Okay, I got the defense on. I got it. And what do? Give them the inside.
And he rifled that thing into Tillman for the touchdown. Capping a 75-yard drive in 10 plays. About 3.5 minutes, and on fourth down, they not only convert the fourth down, they get the touchdown. Tennessee's remaining schedule: South Alabama and Vanderbilt. And of course, going to a bowl game would be a nice accomplishment. And if they beat Vandy, 500 in league play.
Lately, that's first-year coaches. It's been tough to do.
Yeah.
In this conference. Right? I think the key win for that Kentucky win was the one
that was
they
big.
got. I mean, they'd like to have that Ole Miss game over again, I think.
Sure.
But that Kentucky game was the one that they got.
And they played with Alabama for 3 quarters.
I don't think Georgia's lined up right. They've got it. The onside kick's going to go the other way, and they got all their men at the top of the field. It's a good timeout again by Georgia.
So we'll get realigned here on the Georgia side of things. There's Will Muschamp, you see over in the
far
corner.
left side.
He's helping out on special teams. Former Georgia player, those 2 guys.
So look at only 4 players down here, but the onside kick's going to go in this direction. It should be tilted the other way.
See if they got them lined up differently. They will, well, to a degree anyway.
Well, I'd be kicking it down here. You got better numbers on the bottom here, right?
It's going to squib it down to Kearis Jackson, who scoops it at the 17. And goes down around the 34.
Listen, I didn't expect that style onside kick.
I didn't either.
Kirby goes, we wasted a timeout.
This Thursday, everyone's talking about TV's new #1 comedy, Ghosts. Critics call it drop dead funny, hilariously spooky, and thoroughly charming. So be prepared to get scared funny with a brand new episode of Ghosts Thursday at 9, 8 Central, right here on CBS.
Well, the balance of this Georgia offense in this game, 269 yards rushing, 213 yards passing. They have been able to do what they want when they want.
38 runs, 29 passes, and Dewan Edwards. Everybody getting in on the ground game a little bit today. James Cook ties his career high with 104. Zamir White got a little lathered up on the last drive. Kenny McIntosh, 46 yards and a 5-yard touchdown. And Stetson Bennett, 40 yards and a 9-yard touchdown rushing. James Cook is saying there's flu going around. I'm wearing a mask now. I'm done. My helmet is put away. Edwards again. Back to the line of scrimmage. James Cook's day, a little bit of everything. And everything was spectacular when he got his hands on it. Open field, nobody's going to catch him. Takes that one himself. And then Stetson Bennett on a perfect throw to the corner of the end zone. Part of a 3-touchdown day for James, including this last one. Got his tackle out there, got his fullback buddy Zamir White out in front of him. That's a good day.
A little toss. Yep.
Oh, nice hit by Jeremy Banks again, who made the first contact. And it's 4th down. Jeremy Banks came in as the leading tackler and came off a 14-tackle game that we mentioned earlier against Kentucky in their last outing. He's got 15 more today.
Jeez. That was a great stat right there. 29 passes in the fourth quarter all year by Georgia. Just 2 today. That's how much they've been dominating these football games.
So Camarda set to punt it away. Velus Jones back around the 20 on the other end. Nice punt. Jones will field it at the 12. Going to get tracked down. Nope, got away. And brings it back the other way. Velus Jones, nice return. Devontae Wyatt makes the tackle on the special teams.
I think he's one of those personal protectors back there, and it got personal because he got back to him.
Yep. 24-yard return of a 48-yard punt. McConkey almost had him wrapped up, starting wide receiver, and then the starting defensive lineman makes the tackle finally on Velus Jones at the 37. So a minute to go. Tennessee's got 2 timeouts. And a prideful Georgia defense does not want to give up any more points. That's for sure. Jalen Hyatt on the reception. Second and 6. Milton fires complete. Same guy, same route. Out of bounds, 2 yards shy of the first down. And Lanning calling the defense over there on the left in the red shirt. And they'll keep it on the ground, trying to move the sticks and get the first down, and Jamari Small does with 52 seconds left.
First down.
And a rifle shot.
Yes, he did rifle it. You have to get your hands up fast. That's going by you.
That baby had some smoke on it. Keaton made the grab. Back into Georgia territory here with a half-minute to go. Milton in trouble. Throws on the run, incomplete. Jimmy Holiday was the intended receiver.
Yeah, and this is, again, you know, the pride of the points is one thing, but if you lose a starter here, it just kind of makes you think, you know, like, oh my gosh, Kirby is looking out there and goes, please just let it be a sore leg, not a bad knee.
Well, Devontae Wyatt's been on the deck more than Devontae Wilder was against Tyson Fury today.
Sure. Comes out, he's okay. Yeah, see, as he steps, all his weight goes on that left leg, and I hope his knee did not give way. You know, because that's the gamble when you're trying to protect stats.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you lose one of your key players, you'll get second guessed. That's the way it goes.
.26 seconds remaining, and hopefully not a serious injury to Devontae Wyatt. We mentioned Georgia's schedule earlier. They'll add another W to that right-hand column here in 26 seconds and be 10-0 and 8-0, undefeated in conference play for the first time since 1982. And of course, there weren't 8 conference games back then. Charleston Southern is next in Athens, and then it's at the Flats at Georgia Tech on Thanksgiving weekend, before going back to Atlanta. And
yeah, that seems like good news right there, doesn't it?
I hope so.
Yep. I mean, this team, I mean, for what they've gone through as a team, you know, for the last few years, they deserve a shot at it. I mean, think about it. In 2017, this will be their 4th trip to the SEC championship in the last 5 years. 2017, second and 26, okay? 2018, Jalen Hurts. We were there for that one. Yep. 2019, Joe Burrow. Tough to beat that guy. 2020, it was Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts, okay? And then this year, they're back in the championship.
Yeah, that says it all right there on that that lineup.
That's, yep.
Milton backpedaling. Flags. Going to have another holding call probably. The pass is incomplete.
Was this one on the transfer Cade Mays from the old Tennessee teammate, number 68?
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Dane Davis in there for Cade Mays.
He had the right spot.
Yep, right tackle.
So just a couple of plays left. Second down at 20. Milton being chased down and dumped down. And it's Chaz Chambliss again putting the pressure on. That's going to end it. No matter how you hurry up, you can't go any faster. And #1 Georgia shows why. Against their SEC East rivals, the Volunteers. And that makes it 10 wins in the last 12 outings and 5 straight. Georgia over Tennessee. (41-17) the final. And now it's time for the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. And here it was, Stetson Bennett at the 9-yard line. Nobody to hand off to or fake the handoff. So he just does it on his own and scores from 9 yards out. This is how Scott Howard called it on the Georgia Radio Network.
Receiver in motion to the near side. Play fake Bennett. He's going to change the direction of the play. Get in the end zone for the touchdown. How about that for improvisation? Stetson Bennett. Play fake. Roll out to the right. He had a big black shirt right in his face. He just tucked the ball, cut inside the defender, and goes 9 yards for the touchdown. Stetson Bennett.
And that part of a 41-17 Georgia win makes it look like this. A perfect 10 now for the Dogs. 8-0 in conference play. And they'll be heading to Atlanta the next time we see them. Stetson Bennett's with Jamie Erdahl.
Stetson, an unusual amount of pass attempts for you today. How's that arm feeling in this cold weather?
Well, it's a little bit more sore from all the hits from running the ball, I say.
James Cook, 3 touchdowns today, plus you connected with him on a ton of those throws. Why is it fun to play with a guy like that?
He understands football. You know, he growing up, I mean, his brother and his whole family, and also he's a heck of an athlete. But he knows that whenever we split him out and it's one-on-one, I'm going to go to him, and I did, and it worked.
I know you and I have talked over the last couple of seasons about how you're living out your dream right now, but you're on the road. You just won at Neyland Stadium. You're in the driver's seat in the SEC. Is that dream continuing for you every day? Yeah. You know, you try to stop being like a wide-eyed little boy and, you know, a starting quarterback in the SEC, you know, eventually. But it's pretty cool. Got a few more games before the SEC championship, but it was, I mean, first time in 40 years undefeated, you know. Congratulations.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
No longer a wide-eyed boy, wide-eyed man. He is the man right now for Georgia. And Kirby Smart, a winner. Not a good day for Smokey. It was early, but then #4 James Cook and company took over for the top-ranked Dogs. For Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, Gene Steratore, our entire CBS crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from Knoxville. Final score, 41-17, top-ranked Georgia. We'll get you back to Adam Zucker and the guys for the college football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage right after these messages. See you in Tuscaloosa next Saturday.